You're gonna have to be a judge and a seller. Are you okay with this?
Sure.
I bet. So we got that. Let's do this. Uh, uh, um, let's bring everybody up here. Gallery. Let's go to speaker. Who we got up here? We got Al, we got Noah, we got Peter, we got Eddie. Eddie can't judge himself. Giovanna, you down to be a judge?
Yeah, I'll be a judge.
Did you get your hair done too?
Nah, I just parted it different. It's down the middle.
Oh,
A
okay.
little different today.
Just switching it up. All right, bet.
Yeah.
Keeping people on their toes.
Yes, for sure.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right. Who else? Idan, do you want to judge harshly? Al, make him feel badly about himself, or not Al? Eddie, are you down? Okay, so we'll let you. We got Al and we got
But
Giovanna.
I might need to have to take a phone call. So
A seller
I
call?
don't know. Huh?
A seller call?
And not exactly. Dean is right now seeing a property of a seller of ours, and there's kind of a problem. He forgot something on the stove, and the seller is already there. So we're just in the midst of figuring it out.
Wait, who forgot something on the stove? I'm confused about that.
Dean, he just arrived to meet the seller in the property, but he forgot something in his house on the stove. So he needs to drive back there, and he cannot get a hold of the seller. She only answer my calls for some reason. So I don't know if he was able to get a hold of her or not.
It's a very strange problem to have.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, let me not let Dean burn his house down.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just moved in too.
You guys have no idea how badly I want to share the comment that that Naomi, if you don't get your behind in Zoom, let me post it. Give me 2 minutes. I'll post it on my Instagram. Why aren't you on my email list, bro? We get Naomi coming in here. Naomi's family from way back. Naomi, watch my stories in like 5 minutes. Matter of fact, let me see if I can just post it here. I don't know if it'll work. Let me see if I can post it here. Hold on. Into YouTube. Let me know if that works. I don't know. That's not gonna work. Hold on. Switch account. Wait, from way back. Name. All right, bet this should work. If that works, yeah, I think that's gonna work. Naomi, if that works, hop in. Okay. I really want to share the comment that Al made, but it would probably cancel both of us. So I'm not gonna say it. Al's extremely inappropriate, like I told you guys. Okay. So Idan, what's the mathematical likelihood? Oh, Lindsay, let's go. How did the call go? Did you let him down nicely?
Very nicely. She thanked me for my time.
Oh, very sweet. What was the situation?
An agent listed the house. He's also a sub 2 student. He been listed for 47 days. They've dropped the price twice. Can't get it moved. She owes too much, and even if she takes zero, we can't make a deal out of it. She's negative, so her best case is for him to drop the price on the house to get it moved before the foreclosure date happens.
There's no equity on the house at all. What's the ARV?
ARV is 635. Here, let me pull it up. Go grab my paper quick. ARV is 635. She's owes 544, is 33,000 in arrears, with closing costs and the holding costs and the cost of the private money. It just brought it right down to zero.
When is maybe, but there might be a better option. What state's it? Where is it located?
Just outside a suburb of Nashville, Tennessee.
Is there an auction date?
Yes, it is. It's in November sometime. No, there's no auction date set yet. I misspoke. She just got the notice of default.
So at this point, is she ready to just walk away from the deal, or is she still holding out hope that she's going to be able to sell?
She's holding out hope. She still wants 20 grand in her pocket.
Okay, so she would rather not get anything and lose the house than walk away without 20 grand?
Yeah, I mean, she would probably come down. She's pretty stuck on it right now, but I think today was a good reality check for her. But like, we can't make it work even if she takes nothing.
Okay. I
Let's
might have a
subtract.
solution. I
Okay.
might have a
Means
solution.
you gotta subtract.
Wait,
What
hold on.
means minus? Okay. So that means
Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. I might have a solution.
Okay.
So let's stay in contact. But also Alon from my crew over here, he said he may have a buyer out there as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to shoot him the deets just in case he happens to be interested in
Absolutely.
it.
100%.
If not, let's connect either way, and I'll see
Yeah.
if this other strategy would work. It's a little bit unique. It's out of the box, but it
Awesome.
it
I
works
love
for
it.
something like this. Yeah, we just did one the other day.
Yeah, her payment is super high too. It's like $5,000 a month.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is it just a big house, or is she got a high interest
Yeah,
rate? That's 8%
It's
interest.
it's a 4, 2.5.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's turnkey. Super nice.
That's fun.
Mm.
Oh, if
Um,
it's turnkey, you'd be looking for a flip. Sorry, I didn't catch that information.
Okay.
So
Yep, that's because I didn't
If
get
it's
it
not
yet.
a
So
flip,
you
then
didn't miss
yeah.
it. Nope, it's not a flip.
So you're out, Alon?
yeah,
Why are you in here?
I didn't answer that.
Yeah, I know. We'll work on it. Todd, what's the entry, bro?
The entry is well. It actually depends. It's sort of similar to the last situation that the lady was talking about. She owes 12,000 on top of what she wants. So if we could push that to the back, that then is the 12,000 a part of the entry fee? But
Is he
besides
running
that-
from the cops currently?
I know. I live in New York City. It's like this all the time.
That's just what the city sound like. So what does she want? What is she looking for?
Well, she was looking for 10,000 in her pocket. All right. So first of all, she was asking for 219, right? She owes about 191, 190 something, and she was looking for 10 in her pocket. And initially she had owed 10. This is about a month or two ago. I think that the agent was fishing me around. Just like it's like the last person was saying, so I'm finna call him up like, yo, stop playing with me. But he was playing around basically, and now it's up to about 12, almost 13,000 that she owes. And so I'm negotiating that. So basically the entry fee, she wants 10, she owes 12, and the person who bought the deal to me wants about 10, but he's negotiable.
Very, very interesting. So it's in foreclosure?
No, not yet. The agent said that she just received the letter, not saying it's going to foreclosure, but saying, hey, you
The notice of
behind.
default?
Yes, basically.
Okay. So there's some time on that. Do you know what the ARV is you said on the property? Was that the 219?
They want 219. It's about that. The ARV is about 219, 218, 217.
And she owes one whatever?
About 190 something.
Okay, so there's not a lot of equity there. Okay, let's do you know what the rent rates are in that area by chance? Like, what's the size of the house? It's probably a smaller house. It sounds like if it's all 7.5.
Actually, the house is a 4.2 and a half, and according to the estimate, it's not too many comps out there to compare it to, but I'm getting about 2,000, 2,200.
Okay.
Almost.
What's her current PITI?
The current PITI is about 13, almost 1,400.
Okay. Very interesting. DM me the info, bro. I may have a friend that would be interested in buying. Those numbers don't sound horrible. I'd have to look at the house, but I may have a friend that'd be interested in buying.
Okay, cool. I'll send it to you.
Naomi, what's up, big dog? Long time no see.
Man, it's good to be seen. Well, not getting my hair combed, but you know what I'm saying.
Look,
I don't like to be that weirdo with the camera off, but yeah, you're a sight for sore eyes.
I know I missed you. I'm not getting my hair done like you are, but I'll work on that maybe next time.
How long have you been doing this battle thing?
Just started it. So this is my community, right? I opened it up to do these pitch battles. We did a little bit last week, and we're just doing it this week. I'm announcing some cool stuff, so we're just out here having a good time, messing around.
Man, that sounds super dope. Super dope. I had to take a bit of a hiatus to get some focus. And so I'm at the back end of the sabbatical.
Okay.
With the starting of school and a kindergartner and third grader at the same time, I might have bitten off a little bit more than I can chew. But especially when I was chasing my tail without focus, I'm chasing down foreclosures. Then I'm trying to help people sell the valuable goods so they can have money for moving. And I was just doing a lot of non-money making activities, just bleeding heart. And after getting cussed out by everybody, Chino, Pace, Greg Clark, they like, look, you're trying to trade places with the people. So I just had to get real focused and intentional and realize that my real goal is multifamily, but I still have a passion for rebuilding the city of Gary that has over 10,000 blighted properties. So I had to just get all of my ideas on paper, look at all of the pieces of the puzzle that I've collected over the past year or so, and just like I was spending 20 plus hours a week in the business doing non-money making activities, which is crazy. So I'm linked up with Jesse on this top-down method, starting with an operations manager instead of like kicking it off with VAs and moving your way up. It's another way of looking at it. But I think with my time being so limited with all of these people around me, I probably should do it the most efficient way and most tactical way possible. And so, yeah, but like I say, it's good to be back. I learn something every time I'm in a room with you. You are in my book. You're going to be in my book, in my story. You're already in my journal, but you're going to be in the extended form of the book because one of the things that you told me that resonates with me the most is you said, Naomi, you're like a flashlight, like one of those LED lights that's like shining in your face, but you need to hone in and become a laser because a laser is dangerous. Like you could really do some damage as a laser. Don't be the spotlight that's just in your face. So that made me think like I need to be more, not just more intentional, but tactical because there are people that have more time than money and some people have more money than time. I've got a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Like I've only got a little bit of both. So I need to be really strategic and make my next move my best move. And for me, that requires developing my leadership skills and finding out how to lead a team like a DQ do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on a very interesting and exciting path now.
I love that. Well, I appreciate you, lady. You know, I'm just I'm here. If I can do anything to help, I got you.
I know I got to stalk you like 45 times and you'll eventually answer. So
or you can just come find me on your local Zoom and then I can't escape.
That part. Yes, you can't run from me on Zoom now that you got these regular Zooms. I'm definitely on that. I'm definitely on that.
All right, bro. I appreciate you. Hopefully, let us know what you're thinking about what we're doing here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you. Okay, so let's get the ball rolling. Idan, you think you're gonna be good, bro, or are you gonna have to go, help? Okay, all right, bet. So let me get this thing back up and going. Eddie, are you here, bro, or did you go make a sandwich? Where's your mud water, bro? I'm not used to seeing you at the beginning of a Zoom without drinking mud water.
My wife's getting the re-up right now.
I got you. Bet.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what's happening today, right? It's going to be different than usual. You know what's happening, right?
Yeah. I was here for the whole thing.
Okay. So
I'm not up to date. Catch me up to speed. What's going on?
Were you too busy actually doing work stuff to listen to what we were talking about?
Yeah, sorry. So maybe choose someone else because I don't want to waste everyone's time with you explaining everything again.
That was the worst answer ever. That's not the answer, bro. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're doing similar to what we did yesterday. Here's the difference. We switched up the criteria, right? So let me show you the criteria. All right, here is the criteria. So we're switching it up to be this. All right, you ready? Can you see it? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the difference is Instead of doing what we did yesterday, where these were the scoring criteria, this is now the scoring criteria. So step 1 is empathy and reading the room. Tonality, asking hard questions, overcoming objections, problem solving, and then of course strength to close and follow up, right? It's gonna be 6 out of 5 with all of them. I may mix this up throughout the day today. We'll see how the scoring goes. But the one caveat here is if they get to the asking hard questions section and they start waffling the hard questions, I notice they're avoiding the hard questions. They're not pressing in where they're supposed to. They're not doing it the right way. I'm going to make a ding sound. If I just say ding, right? No, it's a buzzer sound. If I make a buzzer, if I go, you know what that is. It's a buzzer sound. Use your imagination. I'm going to try to get an actual buzzer sound. If I don't have one and I go, that means you didn't dig in, Eddie. You got it? You did not dig in. I don't like the way you waffled the hard question. You got to dig into the discomfort, to the uncomfortable part, asking the hard questions. If you don't hear that noise, continue doing what you're doing. If you hear that noise, that means you got to go back and re-ask the hard question more efficiently. Get uncomfortable, ask the hard question. When you hear a ding, ding, right? That means you did a good job, move forward. For the judges, if they don't make it to overcoming objections or problem solving or follow-up because they didn't ask the hard questions properly, then they don't get scored on that. They get zeros, right? They get zeros. They don't get 2s, they don't get 1s, they get zeros if they don't get that. Now, if they were good enough and they were getting that information earlier on, then you can score them, right? Don't give them a 0 if they did it in the earlier part of the conversation. But if they don't get to it because they didn't pass this, then those things get 0. So the rest of their conversation is going to hang on their ability to get past the uncomfortable part of the conversation, asking hard questions, right? So that's going to be where the caveat is for today. All of the rest of the scoring is going to be the same situation. Now, for those of you who are in my community, you guys know how much time we spent weeks on tonality alone. You guys understand how much I talk about tonality. You have all been here. So you guys, this is the difficult call. Don't go easy on them. Grade them on their tonality. If they waffled the tonality part, hit them with a 0, hit them with a 1, right? If they did a great job, give them the points that are appropriate based on however you score how you want, but make sure you guys are remembering and focusing on tonality as well. So that's it. Make sense? Everybody on board? Eddie, are you on board? I may expand the time today. I may just randomly extend the time. I'm going to start with 6 minutes. And we'll just kind of go from there. Randy. Can Randy hear me?
So just to be clear, I'm waiting for a ping to get to overcoming objections. I'm not gonna let.
The only time you got to wait for a ding is if you get if you get a buzzer.
Okay.
What that means is if you ask the hard questions appropriately, I'm not going to buzz you because you did your part. Move forward. If you get a buzz though, that means you did not ask the hard question properly and you got to circle back.
Okay.
And you can't move on until you hear the ding. Does that make sense? So if you don't hear a buzz, don't worry about a ding. If you get a buzz, you can't move on until you hear the ding.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to be upfront about the motivations. That's why motivations here isn't a thing. We're going to tell you what the motivation is so you know how to awkwardly feel and dig into the conversation. We're going to give you a generalized. The seller can use their imagination to make it as nuanced as they want. So you have something to dig for, right? If you already know, you won't have to dig. So we ain't going to tell you everything, but at least you'll know at least the situation, but you're going to have to dig for the hard stuff. Randy, how do you feel about playing a sad person with a tough situation?
Wait, DQ, so are you saying that someone just because they're in foreclosure isn't motivation?
You're overthinking it at this point. I don't even know. I don't understand your question.
Never mind. You're good.
Okay. Randy, you good with being a seller?
I don't think I'd be a very good one, to be honest with
You don't think you'd be a good one? Why?
Just because.
Because you're second guessing yourself for no reason? Part of me really, really wants to put Randy on the spot right now. I feel like I should.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'll give it a crack.
Okay. All right. Here's the thing, Randy. Here's what I need you to do. This is going to be. I'll let you decide. Would you rather do a probate, a pre-foreclosure, or a divorce? Which would you prefer, Randy?
Oh boy. I guess pre-foreclosure.
Okay, so you're going to be pre-foreclosure. He knows it's a pre-foreclosure. He's calling a pre-foreclosure. Make him earn the details. Don't offer up the details. Whatever your scenario is, don't offer it up too easy. He's got to push past your resistance. Your job is to be resistant. Don't make it impossible, but make him work for it. Make it hard for him to get the true motivation. Don't offer it up too easy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are you gonna send me something, or I'm just winging
No.
it?
Use your imagination. Whatever situation comes to mind. You ever talk to a seller in a pre-foreclosure situation?
Yeah.
Okay, just use that one.
Okay.
You sure? You got this, Randy? Don't second guess yourself, bro. I think you got this.
Let's go.
All right. Randy's got it. All right, you know what it is. Don't make it too easy on him, Randy. Make him earn it. Make him work for it. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna stop sharing. You know the criteria. Say ring ring. Whenever Randy answers, we're good to go.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Randy, it's Eddie. Hey, I work with families that received notices from the bank. It looks like the bank sent out a notice with your property on X. I just wanted to see if there's anyone actually walking you through your options.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so this is Randy, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Randy, so what I'm seeing is it looks like the bank sent out a notice on the property on Main Street. It may or may not be a mistake. I just wanted to see if the bank has gotten in contact with you about that.
I don't check my mail a lot. I'm not really aware of anything going on. Is there something I should know?
Gotcha. Yeah, so Randy, I work with families every day with these type of situations. A lot of times they haven't gotten notified from the bank. It looks like I said, it looks like the bank have sent out this notice. By the time I see notices like this, they've already started the process of trying to auction your property off. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure that that doesn't happen. Were you aware of any sort of bank issues with the property on Main Street?
No, not really aware of any issues. Just just been trying to make things work. It's been tough.
Yeah, trying to make things work. Yeah. What do you mean by trying to make things work, Randy?
Well, I just life happens. I just been busy doing my thing. I trying to just navigate life. I don't know that I've really had any issues. I just kind of been just doing my thing.
No, I totally get it, man. Life definitely happens, and things get in the way. But does any of that have to do with like the house or?
I don't know if it really has anything to do with the house. I just it's just been things aren't like they used to be.
Right. No, I mean, help me understand that, Randy. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. I mean, how I'm here to help, but I'm a little confused. What do you mean things have changed? Fill me in. I mean, how did we get into this, or where are you at in this situation?
Well, I'm not getting any younger. I just been working a lot, working my tail off, and life just sometimes things just happen. Work work's work. Could always be better, could always be worse.
Yeah. Not are you working fluctuate? Right now, are you currently working?
No, I'm not.
Gotcha. What happened?
I don't know, just things just didn't see eye to eye with people at work, and it was just wasn't a good situation. Just not there anymore.
Oh, no way, man. How long were you there for?
Oh, probably, I don't know, 25 years.
What were you doing?
I just kind of work in the you know, kind of a construction type scenario, construction type work, project stuff.
Yeah. 25 years. So did you have like a bunch of years of experience with this company, or how did they just kind of let you go?
Yeah, you know, I've been there a long time. Just, you know, at the end of the day, there's been a lot of turnover, and you know, there's always new places or new faces. People come and people go. New bosses, new
Right.
corporate initiatives, and just, you know, times change, and you know, I just you know, didn't see eye to eye with different people.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I mean, how long ago did that happen since they let you go?
Oh, it was probably a year ago.
About a year ago. Oh man, that that's frustrating. I mean, you've been there for so long, and they just kind of let you go, not really caring about what type of situation they put you in. Um, well, how's it looking to get you another job and get you back on your feet?
Yeah, I don't know. I've just been kind of depressed about it. Just you know, just kind of been taking things day by day. I
Yeah,
haven't really been actively doing anything.
gotcha. Yeah, and I'm sure with everything going on with the house, it's not making things easier. I'm sure you're getting bombarded by people if you haven't yet. Look, man, like I said, I want to help out. Randy, sounds like you're kind of in a tough situation here, and you got something in front of you that might be a ticket, to get a fresh start. And not sure if that would be, something that you're looking for. But I mean, let's bring this back to you, Randy. What are your intentions with moving forward? Where do you see yourself?
Well, you know, I didn't really have any plans. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm trying to stay where I'm at, you know, for as long as I can.
Okay.
And
So
that is time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. First one of the day officially kicked off. Interested in hearing how everybody scores this. We've never scored one of these before. I have some opinions on this. But let me go straight to the judges. Interested in hearing everybody's thoughts on this. Eddie, before we get to the scoring, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel about the call, how you did, all the things?
Oh, bro, nervous as always. I'm sure everyone does, but I feel like that's how my calls go. Is the first couple minutes I'm really nervous. I'm really just everything kind of is transactional. Until I kind of catch a flow, or I kind of get somewhere with the seller, and I can kind of put myself and just relate. And I felt like the second half of the conversation, I really slowed down, just kind of put myself in like, hey, what's going on, man? Let's figure this out. Let's figure out your situation. And now let's create a plan. First I want to figure out where you even want to go, but I want to understand how you got there. And that's where I was at.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's see what the judges think about how you did. Interested in seeing how they feel about this scoring, but let's get into it. All right. Let's go with, we got, who is this? Giovanna. All right. Al, we'll go ahead and start with you, bro. And see how you feel about this. Start with empathy and reading the room.
Right. That I would say was pretty good. I mean, I feel like it sounded like you came across understanding and trying to be helpful, whether that was your tonality, but also when you actually said it. I'm here to help. I'm here to understand what's going on and see if I can help you. Reading the room, I mean, the room for me was, for the first 10 seconds, it wasn't very clear what's Randy going through, but as you kept talking, It was clear that Randy sounds pretty like he's just in a bad spot in his life. You know, he sounds frustrated. He sounds like he's nothing. He sounds like he lost his pride. And so I feel like you haven't really used any of that. I don't know if you had enough time, but so but even though I feel like you did a good job. So I'll give you a 3.5 for empathy and reading the room. Tonality was good. I'll give you a 4. No, yeah, I'll stick with 4. I mean, could have been better, but I feel like it just fit the situation, like how Randy was responding. I feel like you matched him. You mirrored him pretty well. Asking hard questions. So I feel like you asked the hard questions. I just don't necessarily feel like it was always the accurate questions. So one thing you did is you kept going to what happened with the seller, just trying to go back to see how he got to this situation. What I missed was how does it actually affect him? Like, what's the, his day-to-day, like how he feels, all these different things, like what does that look like? So I'll give you a 3.5 for asking hard questions. Overcoming objections, I couldn't tell that there were any objections, so I'll just give a 1, and problem solving a 1 as well for the same reason. And follow up close 0 because that was just didn't exist at all.
All right, with the hard scoring, interesting scoring. Idan, let's go to you, bro. Let's get your thoughts on this. Also, by the way, Randy, shut up, dude. You were a fantastic seller, bro. That was amazing. You did a really good job with that.
I don't know about that, Eddie. I feel like I did you a disservice. I was, again, not having a framework to work from. Obviously, I got a little bit of personal connection with the thing, but not having the framework, I tried to stay in character and just be not super, kind of being kind of reclusive and not really wanting to really say what happened in my life. I was trying to create the story on the fly, but I'm trying to stay in character at the same time. So I felt like I kind of led you in a couple weird little directions. My mind was trying to, paint a picture.
How many of you guys can tell that Randy overthinks and is too hard on himself? 1 in the chat if Randy crushed that seller call. Don't exaggerate, though. Don't put a 1 if you don't think he crushed it.
Bro, that's how half of my calls sound.
It was perfect, bro. I don't even know what you got. Dude, Randy gonna be too hard on himself, man.
No, I'm being hard on myself. It's a challenge, right? I mean, this is definitely, I don't do a lot of me being the seller either, right? And not like yesterday, there's, kind of a framework, little script to kind of go by. It's like, oh, okay, you're the first guy. So I'm nervous and I'm trying to create a picture. And anyways, it was fun. Nerve-wracking for me too.
That was good though, man. You did a really, really good job. All right, Idan, what you got, dog?
Yo, Eddie. So, empathy and reading the room. So, I don't know if it was the nerves or it took you time to read the room, but I felt it took you some time to sound empathic. How do you say that? Never mind.
No,
everyone got it.
Everyone gets it.
So yeah, for that, I'm gonna give you maybe a 3.5, because at the end, like, it took you some time, but you were empathetic and you read the room. So I'll give you a 3.5. Same thing with tonality. I felt the nerves at the beginning of the conversation. Well, it cost you. You didn't match really the vibe that Randy gave you, and it took you some time, but eventually you did catch up to that. And overall, your tonality, I think it was good. It was good, but because I know you can be much better, bro. Like when we talk about it and you put your mind into it, bro, you have like at 10x what you had today. So I think I'll give you a 3. asking hard questions. You did ask hard questions, but I think Al gave you a good critique there. Like, I'm not sure they led you to where you wanted to be. I don't know what the right question might have been, but I'm not sure these were the right questions, but you did ask hard questions. So I'll give you, yeah, 3.5. Overcoming objections. Were there any objections? I don't feel there were.
No, I don't know. We got there. It's not sure. Unclear.
Yeah, so the question is if we're giving a 0 or we're giving like something in the middle, a 3 or a 2.5.
I want you to give whatever you think is fair. I don't. That one's a tough one because he did a decent job of passing. Otherwise,
yeah,
I.
Yeah.
So
2.5. 2.5.
Okay. What else?
Problem solving. Also, we didn't reach that yet, but you just started to talk about it just right at the end. So I'll give you 1.5 and 0 for follow-up and close.
Let's go.
But Eddie, man, you're the man. Like, I appreciate you a lot.
All right. Giovanna, hit him with it. Hurt his feelings.
All right, here we go. So for empathy / reading the room, I think it definitely took you a minute to kind of gauge direction. In the beginning, it was a little tough. I mean, you did kind of mirror Randy a little bit within his situation based off of how the answers he was giving you. It was a little hard because I guess Randy didn't know about his situation really, or at least that's what he said. It took a little bit of time. I think that threw you off a little bit, so it took time to kind of see what direction you were going with it. So it felt like a little stumped in the beginning with that. But you did read into that and kind of try to figure out the best way to go after that. So I gave you a 3. For tonality, I gave you a 2.5. I think you did mirror Randy and like the level that he was on, but I think there could have been more added, maybe more so in the beginning to kind of open him up a little bit more, used more of your voice. And that might have helped in maybe the feeling and like the matching and gaining rapport in that way with Randy. In terms of asking hard questions, I think you were digging to try to find where you can find the common ground and maybe not digging in the right directions with the right questions, but you were definitely trying to see how you can best help in the situation. And you kind of were able to get some more information based on like the questions that you were asking. Did it connect to like the house and how that connects with the house? We didn't get quite there yet, but you were doing well and kind of trying to figure out what was going on and the reason he was let go. And you did find common ground there. So I gave you a 2.5.
And that was for which one? Asking hard questions?
Oh, for asking hard questions. Yeah.
Perfect.
For overcoming objections, I don't really think there was anything there, but give you a 1. For problem solving, you started a little bit with Randy like trying to find a way to find a solution to where he's at, like telling him that he had about like a fresh start, and I thought that was good. So for that, I gave you like a 1 in there. And for the strength of close / follow-up, there wasn't that yet. We didn't get to that. So it was a 0.
Good stuff. All right, Eddie with the 27. All right, here's my feedback on this, bro. Here's my feedback on how you handled this. I think the call was decent, but I feel like this sounds like all of your calls, and this is where we're going to start uncovering some issues, right? I think the closest person to tonality score was Giovanna. I think that was your tonality. I don't know why on earth Al gave you a 4, only because that's Al's tonality, right? So your tonality matches Al's in that it was just flat. You did not sound empathetic at all. You didn't sound like you didn't care, but you didn't sound empathetic, right? So if somebody's going through a tough situation, I'm like, yeah, that sounds tough, man. So what's your plan, right? That sounds a lot different than, yeah, wow, that sounds tough, man. What's your plan? Do you hear the difference?
100%.
I promise they hear the difference. And if you're saying the right things with the wrong tonality, you're going to lose the emphasis. Like, why would you be out here just losing the power of your words? They're coming out your mouth. Deliver them properly. Deliver them with the emphasis you want them to be heard with. But if you just let them fall out your mouth, they ain't gonna land the way you want. You gotta plant them. You gotta deliver them, right? So the majority of the conversation was like, "Oh yeah, wow, that was good. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, what's your plan? Yeah, it's just flat all the way through. There was no inflection. There was no modulation. There was no feeling. There was no, oh my gosh, dude, that's gotta be tough. Wow, right? Act like you care, right? This is why we spent 2 weeks having this conversation. Now, y'all can keep sounding flat if you want to. Go ahead. But don't be surprised when you lose people as a result. And I feel like what Randy needed right in that moment was somebody to talk to. He needed a shoulder he could lean on and just let it go. And he didn't have that. He got a nice guy. You weren't not a nice guy, but you didn't deliver it. And 100% of that, in my opinion, hinged on tonality. Fun fact, spoiler alert for anybody who does this, that's going to be your biggest linchpin. You will have a hard time doing any of this without tonality. The other one will be asking the hard questions. Those are going to be the two biggest difficulties in this one. And if you struggle with tonality, you're going to find yourself losing opportunities. Just is what it is. Asking hard questions. I think you did a good job with that. I was waiting to see, but when you stopped at one point and you were like, hey, just to be clear, like, I'm here to help, but I just feel like I'm not getting the full gist. I like that. You drew the line in the sand and was like, bro, you're not giving me what I need. I liked that you asked that question. That made a difference for me. So I think you did a good job. That's why I didn't buzz you on it, because I think you did a good job. The rest of this, bro, all of this is all tonality. I think you add tonality, this score is drastically different, at least double, more. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents on the topic. How do you feel, bro? How do you feel about the call, the feedback, all the things?
Spot on, bro. I know exactly what I need to work on, and we've been role playing every day, so 100% I'm just going to focus on tonality, and that's going to get me to the next step. Because I mean, you've been giving me the same feedback for 3 weeks now, so it's either I change it or stay the same.
That part. Which one are you going to do? Out of curiosity, asking for a friend. You're the friend.
Gonna change it.
Let's go. All right, bet. Peter, how you feel, dog? You want to go next?
Absolutely, please.
Let's go. All right, let's get Peter here. Hold on. Let me put Eddie up here. Eddie. Now, yesterday you got a 51.2, dog. So you got to do better than that. This.
Hey, Q, you gotta do me right on my points though. You gotta add Giovanna's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not add you. Why didn't it add up, bro? What's going on here? This is the devil, bro. This ain't it. So what's the sum here? 1 plus 1 plus 5. So 10. 37.
Let's go.
There you go. Let me put some respect on your name, bro. My bad. That's my bad. All right. You got a 37. Okay, wait. How do you do? Y'all know how to do this? How do y'all like sum? Can you do like a sum? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay. I'm stopping the share. Peter, do you understand the assignment, sir? Do you understand?
100%.
All right.
I'm
judges.
pulling that depression out. Come on, Randy.
All right, let's go. Judges, are y'all cool to run it back? All of the judges good? Edon may not be.
Yeah, I got to make a few phone calls. I apologize.
Okay. No, go do your thing. Eddie. Well, I'll ask Eddie if he wants to do it. If not, I can do it, but I want to ask Eddie if he can. Let me remove this guy. Let's see. When Eddie comes back, we'll ask him. All right. Let's see. Okay. Randy,
Yo,
you down to do it again, dog?
sure.
All right. Let's Peter. What kind of calls are you calling? You calling probates, pre-foreclosure? What are you calling?
Pre-foreclosures.
All right. You down to do another pre-foreclosure, Randy, with a different situation?
Sure, let's go.
All right. Oh, I got one here, Randy. I'm gonna send you an idea.
Okay.
All right. Let me know if you see that. That makes sense. Eddie, you down to be a judge this time, dog? All right. You good with that, Randy?
Yeah.
All right. There you go, guys. We're not getting grading them on that, but just so you guys know. There we go. All right. Same situation, bro. 6 minutes. Do all the things. You know what you're getting scored on, so it's gonna be a little bit different. Let me know.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Randy, this is Peter. I'm just calling to see if anyone's helped you walk you through your options to save your house.
What do you mean save my house?
Yeah, so again, my name is Peter. I call families across the country, and what we end up doing is just advocating for homeowners to empower them to save their homes. Has anyone walked you through this process yet?
No.
You wouldn't have 2 to 5 minutes to save your house, would you?
Sure.
Okay, great. So what we can do is just, if you don't mind, what have you tried already, or take me from the top, and what kind of got you into here?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's been tough around the house. You know, me and my wife just don't see eye to eye anymore. And you know, she I don't know, it's just been tough. We just I think we're having a hard time, you know, kind of making it ends meet and all that.
I'm really sorry to hear that about you and your wife having a tough time. Um, are you both on title?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so is this tough time with your wife kind of the reason why you guys got into this situation?
Well, she, I don't know. I think she started messing around on me. I think there's somebody else in her life.
Dude, that's heavy. Randy, that's no joke. I had the same thing with my last wife. She did cheat on me, but I ended up asking her, "Are you doing this?" And she had enough respect to say, "Yeah," and I just called it off. But have you brought it up to her? That's insane that you have to feel that heavy weight. I know what that feels like.
I don't know that I really. No, I haven't really called her out on it. Just we just been trying to navigate life and keep the lights on around the house.
So you're not sure she's cheating, and you just have to have that weight of thinking she is.
I don't know. I'm just kind of getting the feeling that's what she's been doing. I don't know. We're just kind of struggling.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I lost many nights of sleep. I bet you're not sleeping well, are you? I know I wouldn't be.
No, no, I haven't been.
Wow, that's heavy. So, what have you guys tried so far to save the house?
Um, you know, I don't know, and just really haven't talked about it. Just, you know, I don't, you know, money just doesn't seem to be in the bank account anymore to cover the bills, and you know, she goes to the club all the time, and I don't know, I've just kind of been struggling.
She's going to the club all the time. I she's not coming home and going to sleep when you go to sleep, and she's not spending much time with you, doesn't say the same things. And she smells a little different sometimes when she gets home. And then there's these texts of like out of the blue that's catching you off guard. Is that what's happening for you too? Because I remember those days.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, you know, she's not there. She comes home late. You know, just things are different. And again, we're just money's not in the bank account. I'm trying to, you know, cover the bills. I don't get it.
I think, have you had a conversation with her yet?
No, I haven't. I've been looking for the right time to address it. I just haven't gotten to that point yet.
The whole reason why I'm calling is because I know you have an auction date set. So if I can encourage you, I would say talking to your wife about what the F is going on with the house and where the money's going. The right time is before the auction. So at least you can kind of take control of your finances again and make an educated decision on what to do. I can help you. I absolutely can. However, it sounds like you need more help than I can provide, whether it's a marriage counselor, whether it's a divorce lawyer. So I would say
the person you're trying to reach is not available.
I would say that you need to have a conversation. Are you willing to have that tough conversation with her to figure out what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I need to address it. At the end of the day, it's just, you know, money's not there, and we need to do something. So I need to, you know, confront the elephant in the room, I guess, as they say.
So what I'm thinking is I maybe not be able to have a discussion about your house. I don't feel comfortable doing that, but would you like a third party mediator for you and your wife so you can at least feel like someone's in your corner, that you're not crazy or anything like that? Because I know when I addressed my wife, my ex-wife at the time, she made me feel like I was nuts. Is that something that would be helpful for you?
I don't think I can afford any of that.
No, it'd be covered by me. So what I would ask is actually just addressing this. I can provide a mediator for you. And then after you settle the conversation of what the fuck is going on, then you and I can go back to how do we save your house? Is that fair?
And that is time, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Peter, how you think you did, bro?
I think it wasn't about the house, and he had to address his wife's situation before he could his house.
All right. Well, let's see how the judges feel that you handled the situation. Very, very interesting. I definitely have some thoughts on this call. I like the way this went. So let's pull the scoring sheet up and let's see what the judges got to say. There we go. All right. Can y'all see the judging sheet? The judging paper.
Yep.
All right. Let's go back to Alon this time. Al, what you got, dog? Hit us.
So this one's tough. Like, it's really hard for me to like know if the direction you decided to take was the right one, but there were definitely some things there that I did like and I thought I did a good job at. So let's just go one by one. I mean, so empathy and reading the room. I mean, I feel like you sharing your personal story that helped. I don't know if you did it exactly right though. Like there was a lot of assumptions there. You know, that what you went through is what he's going through. But that being said, I mean, still, even if you experience not exactly the same thing, but something, you know, somewhat similar, I feel like that can create some, you know, that can show some empathy. So I think overall that was pretty good. So I'll give you a 3.5. Tonality was pretty, yeah. I mean, noticing that it was like, I feel like you could have done more. It was kind of flat during the conversation. Like, I mean, it wasn't bad. You wasn't like, you weren't like super hard to talk to or anything of that sort. But just like DQ, the same feedback DQ gave to Eddie. So I'll give you a 2.5. Asking hard questions, bro. I mean, that's where, I mean, I feel like you really did it. I mean, you really dug into that whole, like, like, without any shame or any any fear. I'll give you a 4.5, and the missing half is just because I'm still not sure whether that was the right direction to take. But I feel like, it was fairly good. So 4.5 for the asking hard questions. Overcoming objections and problem solving. Okay, overcoming objections. I mean, there was the wife thing. I'm not sure. I guess you could look at it as an objection, like something he has to talk to his wife. And it sounded like you helped him understand that, and that's something he didn't want to do, but you helped him understand that he has to do it. You didn't really get to the part of the conversation of talking about what happens if he doesn't do it. So if there was like a pre-foreclosure looming in, there was zero conversation regarding that and the outcomes of not, taking care of that. So I'll give you just a medium 3 for doing that.
Did you say a medium 3?
Yeah, like a neutral 3.
Okay. Are there different types of 3s that we should address?
I meant a neutral 3.
A neutral 3. Okay.
Yes.
Is a neutral 3 better or worse than a medium 3?
That's a neutral. It's neutral.
It's okay. It's an answer without an answer. Okay, go ahead. Overcoming objection.
Problem solving is pretty. I feel like that was pretty similar to overcoming objections. I'll give you a 2.5. Follow-up close. Didn't really notice it, but I won't give you a 0 just because it sounded like you guys are gonna follow up after he's gonna talk to his wife. So I'll give you 1.5.
All right. Very, very interesting. I like the feedback. I have opinions on the feedback, but I'm gonna save it until afterwards. Medium 3, Naomi. It's a medium 3. Eddie likes a flat number or a solid.
I give solid 3s.
You give solid 3s?
Solid 3s.
I feel like a solid 3 is better than a medium 3. Like if I had to choose, I'd rather get a solid 3. Because I feel like a solid 3 is like a 3+. Where a medium 3 is just a 3. It's not a 3-. Like a soft 3 is a 3-.
Probably.
We'll workshop this. Go ahead, bro. Tell us how you feel.
Cool. Let's start with empathy and reading the room. I'm going to give you, Peter, a 3.5 as well. I've talked to you about it before. I think this is something that you have been working on and you've gotten better. I think if I would have graded you before, I would have given you like a 1 before. So you're working your way up with your empathy and your voice. You're a very red personality. So bringing out your empathy in your calls is a little bit of a challenge for you, and you're working at it. So you've worked yourself up to a 3.5, brother. Great job. Tonality, I'm gonna give that a 3.5 as well. Your tonality changed in different situations. When you started talking about his wife, the seriousness in your voice, when you started talking about your story, the tonality really came out. So I'm gonna give that a solid 3.5. Asking hard questions, I'm gonna give you a 4.5 just to not do that to your head, bro. But great job asking the hard questions. You went in there. dug right into them. That's something about your personality. You don't ever have a hard time asking hard questions or just being straightforward. Sometimes I think you're a little too straightforward. So great job, bro. You kept a good balance of it. Overcoming objections. I'll give that a 3, soft 3. It wasn't many.
Wow, so that's a 3-.
Yeah. That,
Okay.
but not enough to be a 2.5.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Problem solving, I'm gonna give him a solid 3.5. I liked the the part where you had the conversation where he's gonna have to talk to his wife, and coaching him through that whole process. Like, this is something that's gonna have to happen, and I think that was really impactful for Randy as well. So great job on that. Bonus of strength and close and follow up. I'm gonna give you a 2.5. You set up a follow up. You give him some homework. I'm actually gonna trend that to a soft 3. Soft 3, please.
For the follow up?
Yeah.
Okay, leveled up.
Yeah. Cool.
I like it. Good feedback. Giovanna, take us home.
All right. This was an interesting one. I think similarly, in the beginning, it was an interesting direction that it went to, in terms of empathy and reading the room. I think the direction it went, I was a little unsure of. I don't know. I gave you a 2. I think where it lost on me, it was with the tonality, because it felt like it wasn't quite there to a situation. Like it didn't feel like your story didn't quite hit home, because I just didn't feel it. I didn't know if it was true or not, if you were just saying it to connect, to find common ground. I think you did a fine job, like looking for that common ground with him, and like I guess you found it in that. I don't know if it is true. If it's not, and if it is, I'm sorry. But I didn't quite believe it. And I think it could be based on the tonality, that it could have been delivered in a way that kind of connected your situation with his a little better, and like truly, like, yeah, like I was in your situation, like in a true, I don't know, more genuine feeling kind of way. So I think tonality would have bumped up the empathy / reading the room. But for tonality, I gave you a 1.5 because of that, because I wasn't quite sure if it was true, and maybe it was because of the tonality. I wasn't with your situation. Asking the hard questions. I think I based a lot of this off of the way that it was leading with I think you were like digging into like trying to figure out like how the situation is affecting him, and I think didn't quite open up Randy fully, but you did manage to with like some questions. I think the really powerful question was closer to the end of that, with the wife and like the house, and first him figuring out like his situation with that, and then having to make a decision on the house, kind of bringing it back to his situation that he's at. So I gave you a 2.5. And the overcoming objections, I guess I didn't really hear many objections, and so I gave you a 1 to stay consistent with the last one. And with the problem solving, I gave you a 2 because you kind of were leading into fixing the situation with the situation that he's going through, and how you can help with the house. And then the strength of close and follow up, I actually didn't hear that, but I'm guessing it was there. So give you a 1.5.
What'd you give him for a problem solving?
Good job. 2.
Giovanna does not play around with these scores. All right, Peter, here's my feedback on this, bro. I actually am really proud of the way you handled this call. And I'll tell you why. And then I'll tell you some things that I think could have been nuanced a little bit better. One, you asked the hard questions. You definitely pushed in the question department. Before I give the rest of my feedback, question for you, did it feel different? Were you intentional about that? Or did it just come a little bit more naturally for you? What made you push harder in the question department today than yesterday?
One, that it's an actual score. Like asking hard questions is part of the criteria, so it's more intentional for sure. So I just intentionally actively listened, but didn't allow to move the conversation unless Randy moved past it first.
Okay. So that's good. It was intentional. I like that. That makes sense. Okay. Here's the rest of it then. I like that you were intentional. Sometimes just having a criteria. This is one of the things that I talk about this. And one of the things I say in my community all the time is like, guys, a lot of the stuff that I teach, I'm gonna have to teach a million times, right? And the worst part about it, it doesn't matter how good of a job I do. It's only gonna be as good as you deploy it. And the hardest part about this is everything that I talk about, all of these powerful tactics, especially when it comes to nuance like tonality and asking hard questions, it is the easiest thing on the planet to not do. That's the hardest part about this, is because these things are easy to not do, because they feel so uncomfortable, because it requires that intentionality. So that being said, kudos to you. It's funny how just having a score makes you do something that you originally would have just breezed past. That being said, here's what I will say. You overdid it a little bit. I think you overdid your personal side of the story. And I think you also assumed a lot. And I think maybe it was Al or Eddie who said this. You just I think it was Al. You made a lot of assumptions about the way he felt about the situation by projecting your own personal. Now, I don't know if that was a real situation that you were talking about. Okay, so you made up a BS third-party situation.
I'm working on that.
You're working on making up better BS situations?
Stories, making up better stories. Yeah, it's all part of the process. If I can't relate personally, what am I going to tell them? Oh, I don't know what it's like. No, I'm going to make up something. Eventually, I'll sell it.
Do you want my response to that?
You like it or don't like it. If you say don't do it again because I'm gonna lose deals, then I'll stop. But if it's not that,
no. I think you should make your own personal decision, right? Like, I'm not here to tell people how to live their lives. I can just give my personal perspective on it from and then explain my point of view on it.
I make shit up with sellers. I do.
Yeah, that is, and it's a common thing. A lot of salespeople, they call it white lies, or they call it embellishing, or third-party stories, or all of these different things. I think the need to do that is a reflection of poor communication skills. What that tells me is if you got to lie to relate to somebody, you're not skilled enough in your communication. And so now what you're also doing is you're telling me that you're okay putting your integrity in the wind because you don't even care about your own personal integrity. You'll lie and say whatever comes out of your mouth to get a deal. What does that say about you as a person? Right? Now, some people don't think about it like that. They disconnect their integrity from their words. My personal opinion, Daniel Quijano's personal opinion, this is not a judgment, this is just how I personally view it, is you can't do that. Who you are is who you are. Who you are is always going to show up. And if I'm going to be out here just randomly lying and making shit up to close a deal, that just tells you a lot about who I am as a person. And if I'm going to lie about that, what else am I going to lie about to get something across the finish line to close a deal? And that for me is just a reflection of poor character. Now, that is not usually the intent. So I don't think you're trying to be a bad person. I don't think that's your intent at all.
The third-party story that I just use as a first person, because I make third-party stories up all the time because I haven't had enough real estate experience to say this family went through the same thing. So I make them up on the fly because I know the structure. This time I chose to do a first person, but it didn't work out the well.
It didn't, right? And you know why? Because when you're lying, people can tell. That's the other thing. You're not only are you putting yourself in a position to get caught, but you can't be genuine with a disingenuous story. Right? You're bouncing off now, Randy, or you're bouncing off in 30 minutes?
I have to go real quick. I'll be back. Sorry.
Okay. No, do your thing, man. Wash your hands. Just kidding.
Okay.
So yeah, like for me, it's just a reflection of character. This is just how I look at it, right? So please, guys, please don't take this as a judgment. It's not at all what I mean by this. The way I look at it is, here's what you just said. I need a third-party story. So I just say, that for me tells me, well, let me ask you a different question. If you were a skilled enough communicator, do you think it's possible to find a situation or a way to relate to somebody without having to compromise your character to do so? Right?
Sure.
I don't think this is a story issue. I think it's a skill issue. And I think what happens is when we're not intentional, we don't think about it like this, because here's the reality. Would you agree or disagree, Peter, that the fact that you haven't thought about it like this does reflect not being intentional? Because if you were being intentional, you would have thought about all of the different approaches that you could have had, not just assume that the only option is lying.
Which reflects how I don't normally ask the hard questions, so I don't put myself in that situation to have to lie about a story to dig deeper on that question. So I think you're right. I wasn't being intentional because it wasn't my norm.
Correct. And so here's what happens. And I've seen this in lots of industries with thousands of different salespeople and different stuff, right? Like what you find is they end up becoming two different people. There is the real person, and then there's the pitch version of them. And all of a sudden, when they get into pitch mode, they become this different version. And it almost becomes this like sleazy used car salesman vibe. And some people try to get there because they feel like that's good salesmanship. But a lot of people just end up there and they don't even know how they got there. Well, how is it? It's because of this right here. It's because we're not being intentional. Like you, Peter, are a smart guy and you're a focused guy. So you're like, all right, let me turn the script. All right, what's the process? Okay, what else do I need? Ooh, questions. Let me get some questions. Ooh, okay, what else? Ooh, third-party stories. And now we start deploying all these things, but because we're not intentional about the way we do it, we just got shit falling out of our mouths. And whether you realize it or not, it sounds a certain kind of way. Imagine waking up one day and listening to yourself on a call sound like someone you don't even recognize because you started deploying tactics without becoming the person that you needed to become so those tactics would work appropriately. Right? And so that's kind of that's my stance on it. I'm not a fan of it. Do what you will. Do not have to take my advice on that. My simple opinion is if you're skilled enough, you don't need to lie. And I take it as a personal challenge. If I feel like I got to say something and I don't have a truthful answer, and then I got to get really skilled really quick and come up with something that is the truth that compensates appropriately. And you'll be surprised. It'll be awkward. It's actually not that. It's actually pretty doable. It's fairly doable. You'll be surprised at how often you don't have to make up BS stories. So that actually now that tracks to me because you just made that whole situation up. And so that's why it didn't sit well. It felt inauthentic and you were pushing. It felt awkward. It didn't feel real. It felt disingenuous. So if I were scoring you, I would score you a 4 for asking hard questions because you did push. You did way more than you did yesterday. I wouldn't go as high as 4.5 because to Al's point, asking hard questions is important. Asking the right questions on top of that is more important. So those are two things that you need to do. Your tonality was actually not bad. I would give you a flat 3 on tonality. It wasn't wrong. It was slightly aggressive though, right? So I wouldn't give you high on reading the room because you weren't reading the room because you were more focused on trying to make your story deliver than you were actually resonating, even though delivering your story was your attempt at resonating. So there was a difference in frequency. What I would equate that to is if you're listening to the radio, but you're like 1 click off, you can hear it, but it's a little bit off. That's how well that meshed. Right? When you don't deliver an authenticity. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't care how good or bad you are at reading people. One thing almost every human being has the ability to do unconsciously without recognizing is detecting inauthenticity. People can sense authenticity. They just can. And they won't even recognize it. They won't call it out unless they're skilled and can call it out. But most people will just say something about them. Right? Just something about them didn't sit right. Just something about it. I don't know. I just didn't really vibe with them. That lack of authenticity, you don't have to be the same with someone to vibe with somebody. You just have to be equally authentic. And that you will definitely notice. This is why shady people attract shady people because they're vibing together. That's why authentic people are attracted to authentic people. So that's it. That's exactly it, right? Notice it. Al literally just said, I felt like something off, but I didn't know what. It's this. There was the lack of authenticity.
It's good.
Right? So that's where I would have scored you on it. Really, really good stuff at pushing. That was the focus of this. You did a good job at this. The rest of the stuff is going to be harder. You'll need oversight to catch that consistently. But my biggest takeaway for you, bro, is learn how to, if you decide you want to fix the third-party story thing to be authentic, I would say learn how to be authentic and connect without the need to make stuff up. I promise you that is way more scalable than BS stories.
Understood. Thank you.
100%, bro. 100%. Hopefully that helps. Good stuff. I kind of want to do one of these. I obviously want everybody to go, but I wish Randy's not here. Y'all want to hear me do one just to show an example of what I mean when I'm talking about tonality and all these different things? Or do you guys want to just go to the next person? You can Randy? I don't think you can Randy. You can Randy more than Randy. I don't know that I believe that. Solid one. Yes, please. Ooh, Kate's back. Uh-oh. Kate, got that herd in. Let's go. Let's see. Let's check it out. All right. Stylist went in. Stylist did a good job.
Outside, so it immediately got ruined. But yeah.
It's okay. Is it humid where you live?
No, it's just hot. I mean, we're right up against the mountain, so we get wind.
I hate that when I go outside, right? Like today, my hair's done, and then it gets super windy. Like, and then I got to come on Zoom. Like, how am I supposed to operate in
So
those?
embarrassing. Yeah, I
it's a
definitely
lot.
know that you can relate to that.
100%.
That third party story was genuine.
Yes. See that? That's a genuine third party story. Y'all caught that? You can tell, and you can't tell I'm lying by looking at my shiny ass head. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do one. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Kate, did you hear the breakdown of what we're doing today or no?
I heard most of it. So yes, I know it's more about tough situations. And then there's like 2 different parts to the call. That's what I got.
Yeah. So here's what it is. Basically, is this what you see here? The scoring criteria has changed. It's empathy / reading the room, tonality, asking hard questions, overcoming objections, problem solving, and then the same brain, because you still got to get it somewhere. You got to get it to the finish line, right? So that's where this changes. Here's the difference. If I am not digging enough or asking a hard enough question, you got to buzz me, right?
Okay.
So, Kate, I'll leave it to you. If you feel like in the fact-finding stage of the situation, I waffled the hard question, or I didn't do a good enough job, like I got scared and I ran away when I should have pushed, just be like, eh. And I got to circle back and I got to dig harder. Right now, give me a minute, because like with everybody, you normally got to give them a minute to circle back, right?
Yeah.
Give me like a minute, and if it doesn't work, buzz me, and I will come back. I will recircle back, and then I can't move on from asking questions until I dig enough. And when I dig enough, you give me a ding.
Okay.
So buzz, where you drop the ball. All good, Michael. This is the summary, man. So hopefully this helps. So buzz and a ding. If I screw up, buzz me, and then I can't move on until I get a ding.
Okay.
You follow that? Does that make sense?
Sound effects, or am I
Nah,
supposed
you
to
gonna
just
have to just we gonna buzz ding.
Okay.
All right, you got this.
Buzz is bad, ding is good, like a doorbell.
Correct. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
letting you in to the next
versus-
compartment.
Correct.
Okay.
That's it. Now, we have not had to buzz anybody yet today. Fortunately, because everybody is noticing that it's focused on hard questions, everybody's like staying there until they get the truth, which is good. This is a good sign. So far, somebody gonna get buzzed though. I feel like somebody got to get buzzed at some point. I hope it's not me, but if it is me, buzz away. And I can't move on. And if I lose out on the stuff that I don't touch on, I'll lose out.
Okay.
All right. You want to do a pre-foreclosure, a probate, or a divorce, or some Lizzie said it'll be me. Now don't put that out there yet, Lizzie. Which of the 3 do you want to do?
Well, what was Randy's situation?
Randy did 2 pre-foreclosures.
Okay. Let's do something different. Let's do divorce.
Okay. You don't have to tell me the deets. I got to dig for the deets, but I know that I'm working into a divorce situation. I can call. Randy's was actually a give me 5 seconds, guys. Give me 5 seconds. Sorry, guys. We have a puppy in surgery right now, so the vet's calling to give us puppy update. Perfect. No, she how do I say this appropriately? What's the politically correct? She was in heat right now, right? And if you guys have ever seen me on Zooms when the dogs are in heat, it's like a perpetual casting couch in this house because we have 7 Yorkies. So there has been a time where I was on a Zoom and you can't see it here, but there's like a little couch right here. And like you got 2 dogs in diapers going at it on Zoom, like right behind me. And I'm like, why is this my life? So it happened again. We got 2 puppies from the situation one of those times. Happened again. We're like, nah, fam. So we officially took her in. So she's getting her teeth done and the spay and all the different things. So they're doing a bunch of stuff right now. So they called to tell us that she had to take a bunch of teeth out. So if you guys ever want to just have an excitingly weird life for no reason whatsoever and feel like a crazy person, get 7 Yorkies. There you go. Michael, I appreciate you. I agree with that sentiment. Okay. So Kate, you were asking a question. Were you saying something? I forget.
No, I mean, I've just come up with my own situation, I guess. Who's the judges? So I know who to send.
We'll keep it Al, Giovanna, and Eddie. Y'all good? Perfect. All right,
Am
Peter.
I sending them additional motivation, or is just like divorce enough?
Yeah, just the divorce, and then let me dig for the stuff. You can tell them afterwards if how good I did at digging. If you want to send it, you can. It's up to you.
No, that's fine. I just want to be on the same page as everybody, so I'll figure something out.
Okay, bet. Peter, what is your feedback on the feedback, dog? Talk to me.
I pivoted from trying to go from figuring out what their financials were in the bank to realizing the marriage comes before the bank. Because you told me yesterday, focus on the person, not the process. So that's why I made a pivot to get a mediator. If he felt like he was alone in the situation, that was my pivot reason: person, not process. And then I'll get back to the process after I've established like my value to him, to getting back to the house, how to save it or buy it. That was the backbone of why I went that direction.
Yeah, and I could hear that. I actually think the intent was not bad. I think the authenticity is what was what messed that up. But let's see how I do in this one. If I do okay, you never know. If I do okay, then it'll give you a context as to what I mean, and you can give me your opinion if you see the gaps or not, right? So, Peter, I'm actually going to bring you in for feedback after mine as well. Okay. Also, Lindsay, that was legitimately Yvonne's rationale for like 5 of the dogs. She's like, mathematically, if you add them up, they still weigh less than 1 big dog. So the last 2 were partially my fault. Me and nature. It's not my fault. I ain't make them do the thing. They did the thing on their own. Whatever. Anyways, it was largely my fault. They were on my watch. They didn't. Yeah, exactly. I didn't do it, but I was there. Real action. What's up, dog? All right. I'm putting the timer. Hold on. Let's see. Where's this timer at? Oops. What are you doing? All right.
I think it might be classist, Alon. I don't know that it's necessarily racist.
Is it racist to have 7 of the same dogs?
That's more classist, I think.
I'm not sure. It's 2024, so anything's possible, if we're being honest. Anything is possible.
Oh, breedist. Yes, I think Michael has it. Right.
Oh, yeah, I think Michael got it. Michael nailed it. All right. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Yorkies are a little bougie, though.
They got that fancy hair.
Yeah, they do. Look at this guy. This guy chilling. He got a hoodie on. He got blue eyes. He's just out here doing his thing.
Yep. Super fancy. My dog looks literally like Tramp from Lady and the Tramp. He is the most pound puppy looking of pound puppies.
Our other dog was acting like a tramp from Lady and the Tramp, which is why she's getting spayed right now. Because she's out here in these streets. She was for the streets and we needed to fix it. She's not going to bring that energy into our household. That's kind of the way we put it down. We still love them though. So who raised her? I'm not sure. You? I blame you. Okay. Let's go. All right. Okay. Timer. 6 minutes. All right. You ready, Kate?
Yes. Ready as I'm going to be.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Kate, this is Daniel. Got a note from somebody on my team. Looks like you had spoken with them about selling your property out there on Whitehead Street. Wanted to call and see how that whole process has been going for you guys.
Well, it's been quite the process. I'm glad to finally be at the point to have these conversations.
Amazing. So fill me in. What's been going on? Where are you guys at now?
Well, I mean, we've been trying to get everything settled for about 6.5 years now.
Oh my God. When you say settled, what do you mean?
Just, I mean, like we're going through a separation divorce, just trying to get everything divided. It's been quite the journey.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it's like 3 presidents ago or something like that is when this started. So
So you guys have made it through multiple administrations without finalizing the transaction, it sounds like. I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough, but it sounds like you're probably ready to be moving on to the next chapter. Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, perfect. So what have you guys accomplished up to this point? What do you guys think has been holding you back, at least when it comes to the property?
Well, I mean, as you said, the street's called Whitehead Street, so that's been a bit of an issue trying to figure out who should get to keep the house, and now we're just at a point where it's looking like we just need to just move on.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, is everything amicable with the kind of negotiation of this, or is there some tension here we're going to have to work through?
I think we're as amicable as we can be at this point.
Okay.
Yes. So lawyers still have to be involved, but.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you guys both on the deed?
Yes.
Both on the mortgage?
There is no mortgage.
Okay, so it's paid off. You're both on the deed. What is your goal? Do you guys have the same goal, or do you guys have different goals?
I can't really speak for him. I want to sell it, move on with my life, never talk to him again. But I mean, last we talked, he was still trying to see if there was a way he could keep it. So.
Okay, you want to sell the house. He wants to keep the house.
But
okay,
I think it's more to just piss me off more than anything.
Gotcha. Has there been any legal judgments that are requiring either?
At this point, it is more of the legal. Yeah, like we had the latest judgment came down that we've got to make the decision to sell, and I'm not willing to sell it to him.
So a sale is being forced by both parties legally. There is no option to contest this, is what it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. So that being said, it sounds like if we're able to come to an agreement, the next step is to see if your husband's on board with that. But in either situation, he's got to agree to something.
Yeah.
And has he given you any indication as to how much he wants for this property, or is he going to just accept whatever you bring to the table?
I mean, I think he's gonna have to just face reality and accept that we're at that point. He's just I discovered a money grabber, so it's been quite the journey.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Kate. That can't be easy, and for going through it as much as you can, it's gotta be exhausting. Obviously, I can't make any promises, but my hope is to see if I can do my best to help you guys get through this and kind of get it to the finish line, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So walk me through this. What's your best case scenario? If you could just design your perfect picture, what does that look like?
I get money from the house, pay him the alimony that he's owed or thinks he's owed, I guess, and then never have to hear his name again.
Okay. What are you looking to get for the house in total?
Ideally, so that I'm also able to cover debts and things like that. Ideally, we would sell it for $550,000.
Okay. Do you know how much it's worth?
I don't know. The appraisers, I think the tax value is something like $435,000, something like that. So
gotcha.
I don't know.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that makes you think that your house is worth $100,000 more than what the appraiser says?
It's all the custom touches that we put into it when we built it 7 years ago.
Gotcha. Okay. And let me ask you this: worst case scenario, what happens if you can't get that number?
Well, I'm going to be pissed because there's a lot of legal fees and stuff like that associated with all of this that I'm on the hook for. So
Yeah, it sounds like you're kind of covering. Is he contributing at all financially to this situation?
that's funny. No, he's not.
Okay. Is he in a position to, or and he's just choosing not to, or is he just not in the position where you're the breadwinner?
Yeah, I'm definitely the breadwinner in this situation.
Gotcha. So this is all on your shoulders. You got to figure it all out. Okay. Do I have permission to just kind of shoot you straight and tell you the truth here, Kate?
Sure.
Okay. Here's the summary. I think this is something that we can help with, but in order to do this, especially when you have the legal stuff involved that you do, you're going to have to get past what you hope can happen and accept what will happen. My question to you is, if I can present to you the latter, are you open to considering that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do this. Before I make any promises, let me run some numbers. And then what I'll do is I'll call you back this afternoon and let's chat and see if we can't get on the same page and then go from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Okay, well, I will give you a call back and then we'll go from there and see if we can't move forward.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Talk soon.
Bye.
And there is the timer. All right. Hit me, y'all. Tell me the truth. Kate, you can go ahead and start just giving some feedback from like a motivation standpoint. Was there anything did I do a decent job of covering that so that they can help with their story?
Yeah, I mean, so this is actually a seller that I had a few months ago. This is a real property. They've been trying to get divorced for 6.5 years.
Holy crap.
And he's a gold digger, to use her words. So yeah, I think that you got pretty close to it. That was basically kind of what it was, that she paid for the house and all of that, and now he's gotten alimony and spousal support and all of it's very like a traditional role reversal situation.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Okay, dope. Al, we'll start with you, Pumpkin.
All right. So this was a little different because this felt a lot more accurate, the road that you decided to take. But it didn't feel like a super personal conversation, like that got really deep into emotions. And maybe that just wasn't the case to discuss that. Maybe, it's just not, I don't know. Could be. But
yeah, I'll explain that after. I don't want to influence the judging, but I'll explain why I did that once you guys all score.
Yeah, I'm sure it was intentional. But it felt right. So I don't know about empathy. I feel like, it showed a lot of understanding. For reading of the room was perfect. Empathy, just not a lot of opportunity to display that. So I'll just give it 4.
And to be clear, going forward on these guys, what I mean by empathy, and the reason why I put empathy in reading the room in this situation is, like I said earlier, sometimes empathy is required. Sometimes it's the wrong road. So that's why reading the room can supersede empathy, because some situations, empathy is not the right decision, right? And that's where I gave the example of like somebody just doesn't want to talk about their dead family member. Well, then you didn't use empathy. What you did instead was read the room. That's why I put those together.
So if it's either or, then I'll just give you a 5. But if it was both, then I'd give you a 4.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be an either or, and just the balance of how well did the person read the room based on what was important.
Tonality was a 5, right on point. Asking hard questions. So this goes back to what I just said. There were the right questions. It just didn't get super personal where you had to ask super difficult questions. There were a few there that, you could say were a little harder, but nothing too personal. So I'll give you a 4. Objections. It wasn't really overcoming objections. It was more of preventing objections. Like before you even get to the point, you're figuring out every single like hurdle that you may come across. Most of them were regarding the divorce, the husband. But preventing objections is obviously better than overcoming objections. So I'll just give you a 5 here. Problem solving, I don't know if you got to the point of no, I feel like you did. So the main problem was dealing with the husband, and I feel like you did a good job doing that. I'll give you a 4. Close follow-up, I honestly can't remember what was the end of the conversation like. So
I just told her I was gonna I told her I was gonna call her back.
Yeah, he's
Well,
gonna call me back later.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, if I could do this, are you open? Yeah, that was good. I'll give you a 4.
boom. Okay. G Pesos, hit me. I always get nervous when Giovanna scores because she's the only one.
Yeah, no, same criteria. You, for empathy and reading the room, I gave you a 4.5. I think I understand the direction you took because it didn't really require too much emotion. It didn't seem like Kate really was like emotional about it more. And I think you kind of read the room and didn't really need that. So there wasn't that much there because it wasn't the much empathy there. I gave you the 4.5. For tonality, I gave you a 4.5. I think you used your voice really well and what the situation called for and based on like what Kate gave you. And yeah, no, you did really, really good using your voice, and you could hear it in the conversation the way it led. Asking the hard questions, I gave you a 5. I think you asked all the questions and all the like the right questions to kind of shape the direction that you went, and it felt like everything that you needed you got, and so that was really good. Overcoming objections, I gave you a 5. It seemed like there wasn't really any objections, but you just the way you led it, I guess it didn't bring about any objections at that point. And problem solving, I gave you a 5. With this being a divorce, you kind of connected both parties and understood like where they were both at and gave a solution as to how you can connect both parties and their situations and how you can help in the situation. And strength of close and follow, I gave you a 5. You did set up a time to reconnect and with Kate, and it was pretty strong. So those are my scores.
Dope. Appreciate you. That was less scary than I thought it was going to be. I appreciate you, Giovanna. Going easy on me. All right, Eddie, hit me, Eddie.
Brother, you're a G. I mean, what can I say?
You're a G.
Empathy, reading the room, really read the room. How you said that empathy doesn't necessarily need to come out sometimes. Just being able to direct the conversation and get them the answers or pretty much what they want to hear is more important. And if empathy is not what they need to hear, then no need for it. So I'm gonna give you a 5 on that. Tonality, give you a 5. Not much to say about that, bro. Tonality's on point on that. Asking the hard questions, I'm gonna give you a 5 because you make asking the hard questions not hard. Because obviously you're probably gonna say because it's not hard, but yeah, just you make it very subtle. It's just part of the conversation, and that's how we all got to aim to be eventually. So asking the hard questions, 5. Overcoming objections, Al said it perfectly. You prevented objections, which is even better. Problem solving. I'm gonna give you. Bro, I'm gonna give you a 5 because you figured out the real big problem, which was the husband being a gold digger. You gave solutions on what needs to happen, and that's pretty much what was I'm assuming is the biggest holdup. I'm sure Kate can say about her seller was the husband being a gold digger, not contributing with any of this. So this was crazy helpful because I'm dealing with pretty much the same thing right now, but they're just girlfriend and boyfriend. But spot on. Strength of close, follow up. I'll give you a 4 on that one. You could have closed it, bro. No, you couldn't have closed it. But I would give you a 5 if you would have closed it somehow. So 4.
All right, bet. You just screwed my opportunity at having a perfect score. That's cool, bro. I ain't want a perfect score all the way down anyways, so I appreciate you taking that from me. Taking
Nothing
that
in
home.
life is perfect. You're like an Amish quilt.
If I could be something, an Amish quilt is not the worst thing that I could be. So I appreciate that. Hold on, what's 56 plus 29? Hold on. I don't know what 56 plus 29 is. I got to figure that out. Can somebody math that for me? 56 plus 29, since I broke my little cell calculator here.
Oh, I
85.
know that.
Did I get the exact same freaking score again? Bro, I need to break 85, dog. All right, hold on. We got this. I'll take it though. 85 is better than nothing. Peter, you just went, bro. Give me feedback. Give me feedback. Give me your thoughts on this whole situation. All the things.
Yeah, I'll take it from the top. I'll just kind of recap what I heard for each of your categories. So I heard tonality in your intro, maybe a little empathy. I liked how you transitioned into your next segment of leading question into selling. Your hard question was about the goals and are they amicable? And later on, you asked the hard question of price, which you actually had her talk about his version of the price, and she spoke for him. So you got basically her price and his price. The hard question was, what if you guys can't get that? And which gave you the discovery of who's the breadwinner also that led to, and then you primed it for a follow-up for an offer call. And that's how you ended it. So you hit every single point in a matter of minutes. And if you get this like in real seller calls, are you jamming out in 6 minutes and putting in offers like that?
I don't know. Ask Kate. The answer. Did you feel all that? My students answer this question. They've heard me on seller calls.
Yes. Yes, he can and has done that. But yeah, I mean, like to kind of follow up a little bit with why the direction that I took, I kind of wanted to show that it like the reading of the room, because I think that can kind of get lost. And a divorce situation, like if I'm calling a situation I know is divorce, I'm going to assume it's a very red, angry person. And this lady was very red and angry, which is why I know so much about their situation. I did a lot less name calling in my version of it. Not just to the ex-husband, but also to the caller. So I was trying to be a little more transactional about it.
Yeah, your problem solving was super legit. You solved the problem for the sale of both parties after you found out that they're selling. I thought that was like your whole process for this challenge. It was just boom, boom, bam, knocking down each of those boxes in less than a minute apiece.
Yeah. Do you, and you may or may not, I don't know, but I'm asking this out of curiosity. Could you see, like in hindsight, watching from the outside, knowing what we're looking for, could you see the way I was mapping out my conversation and planting the seeds for the questions that were coming next when I asked them, so that I made sure I got, not only did I get where I got, but I got there exactly when the buzzer timed?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew time was the essence, but each of your questions had double meanings. Each of your the way you postured yourself throughout the conversation was just, I don't know the word elegant, but I haven't been exposed to that really, so I think it's elegant what you did. It's like a chess. It's like I reverted to playing chess where one piece does 6 or 7 different things, 2 or 3 more likely. different things, and you position yourself to do 2 different things with each of your questions.
Yeah. And this is why, right? So this is something I can't teach this today. This is like a whole class, right? But what I will say is this. When you guys have heard me over the last couple of days talk about steps in sales, right? How most of us are at 1 through 3. 90%, 95% of people in this industry are at 1 through 3. 1 is learning yourself. What's your nuances? What are your hangups? 2 is what's my script? 3 is what's my process? 4 is rapport. 5 is like maybe asking good questions. Most of us never get past step 3. And if we're really advanced, like the higher end people, they're at step 4 and 5. When you get past all of that stuff and you learn how to master that as second nature, it becomes unconscious. You don't have to think about it because it's just who you are at this point. Well, now that gives you permission to actually focus on the real game. This is where it becomes chess moves. I love that analogy because that's exactly what I'm doing. It's exactly how I do it. I know the questions I'm asking 4, 5, 6 questions in advance. I already know. Because the second I get into the conversation, I'm not focused on what I'm saying. I'm not focused on my question. That's all unconscious. I'm focused on who am I talking to. There is a difference, and this is something if you guys are taking notes on any of this stuff, this is what I focus on. There is a difference between fact finding and profile building. Profile building is always more powerful than fact finding. Peter, off the top of your head, do you know the difference?
Yeah, fact finding is boring and monotone, and profile building is you're getting flavors to the dish versus fact finding is just like whatever the meat and potatoes. You're getting all the other seasoning in the profile.
That's actually a cool analogy. I like that. Yeah, that's true. But here's the thing: fact finding is important. You know what I mean? Like fact finding matters. You need the information, but fact finding isn't as important as profile building 95, 98% of the time. Why? Because what's your profile? The profile is who I'm dealing with. Who I'm dealing with will always be the linchpin on what does or does not close the deal, not the property value. Property value is a factor, of course, obviously. But it always comes down to the profile. Who is the profile of the person I'm dealing with, and how do I interact with that person appropriately? So while everybody else is focused on script and process, I'm profile building. I'm at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm at those steps. So what I'm doing is I'm like, all right, who's the profile? Who am I dealing with? Perfect. This is how they need to have their questions positioned. Why? Because I know the profile. So I know that I'm positioning my questions this way, not that way. She made a comment. She made a comment 2 times about her husband and the finances before I brought it up. You think I didn't hear it the first time? I just knew that asking it then was going to detour me from my course of action. So I put it in my pocket. And I remembered, I said, this is coming up later on down the road. That's a hard thing to do. I'm not going to say that anybody can just do that willy-nilly. But what I'm saying is the brain is a skilled thing if you train it. The brain is a muscle, just like any other muscle. You want guns, you know what I mean? You want big arms, you better go and start lifting some weights. Nature, if you want your brain to be able to do certain things, you got to exercise that muscle. So while everybody else here is focusing their brain on how to remember their script or their process, I'm focusing on my brain on how do I remember the profile and position my questions the way I need to. And that's what that sounds like on the back end. So understand, this isn't just something that falls out of your mouth. It's all very intentional. But when you're intentional and you choose what you focus on, you get to determine how the conversation goes instead of hoping the conversation goes your way. Does that make sense?
100%. I'm going to have to battle myself to get that understanding. It's so good. I know the direction I want to take.
Yeah, it's practice, bro. And this is something that's going to be hard to do alone. You can do it. It's just going to be harder because it's hard to catch yourself. You know what I mean? That's like seeing stuff that's on your back. You can't, you know what I mean? Unless somebody's back there with telling you, or you got a mirror, you know what I mean? 24/7. But it is.
I'm hearing it's like you're literally following someone. You're so good at following people where in a car, you don't have to be, I'm right behind bumper to bumper to make sure I'm following this person in front of me. You're like 7, 8 cars behind, but you know exactly which turn they took and you can still follow them and stalk them down and whatever you got to do. But it's like you're a predator, you know what I'm saying? In the conversation, they don't even know it.
Well, with all the P. Diddy stuff going on, right? I don't know if predator is the right word that I want to be associated with, but I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, I'll take it in a positive light. But a more accurate thing, bro, is I'm 7 cars ahead, and they don't realize they're following me.
Okay, I like
that's the difference, right? And that's intentional. This is how you get. And here's what I'm gonna. This is a final point I'm gonna leave because I can't teach this. I'm telling it to you without context. But let me tell you this: have you ever seen one of those magic shows where the person like goes into a newspaper and picks the exact word that they knew they were going to pick? You ever seen those things? You ever seen how they do those?
I know the science behind it, but no, I haven't seen it.
Well, no, it's Kate's right. It's because it's magic, dummy. No, I'm just kidding. No, here's a lot of them now. All of them, there's different ways to do this, but one of the ways that they do it, it's all in messaging, right? It's all in messaging. So what? That's 100% my car. That's how they follow me. You can't not follow a car that looks like that. Here's what it is. A lot of times, what they'll do, it's all subliminal messaging. So what they do is they set the environment all around. The stadium that they're going into has specific colors and numbers. So subliminally, they've been put, all of this information's been in their face the whole time. They just didn't realize it. And when they're in the front of the room, they actually have done this on a number of different magicians. They show the person like reading the exact word. And they were like, oh, airport from or plane from Germany, right? Well, then on the way in, there's a bunch of airplanes. And then the word Germany's everywhere. And there's a bunch of German this and German that. Like, so they subliminally put all these things in there. What's my point? I'm not doing all that on a seller call. But what I am doing is in leveraging the human brain. The human brain is our biggest, our greatest strength and our greatest weakness. Which of the two is true depends on how much control you have of your brain or of your emotions. Most of us are victims of our emotions. We're victims of the way our brain works because we don't control it. So instead of it becoming our strength, which it should be, it becomes our weakness. How many times have you talked to a pre-foreclosure person that you knew for a fact you could help? You were the only person that could help them. They hung up on you and then they lose their house. So what does that mean? So what am I saying? That is the exact example of what I'm talking about. That person was their own worst enemy. Us learning how to effectively communicate, build a profile, and get past the wall, a lot of what we do, if we do it well in this business and in sales and communication, is simply getting people out of their own way, but making them feel like they're not doing something wrong by doing it. And that's the art. This is why all of this stuff makes sense. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Dope. Appreciate you. Sorry, Kate. Magic is real. What I just said was not true. I made that up for Peter because we already established he liked lying. So I just lied for him, if that makes you feel better. Okay. Is that Jeremy Davis? Look at that face. Look at that face. What's up, Pumpkin? What are you doing?
Are we doing a poster to city for Irene?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Huh?
You.
Me?
Go ahead.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I just
What's up,
wanted to pop in and see how terrible you all were.
Pretty terrible, dude.
Yeah.
I just bombed.
Yeah, Dairy Queen is on top. Is Jen here? And if
No. This was the previous one that went into the closer's octagon.
Yeah. I remember that. Okay.
So, but this is more. Not all of the names are here because my numbers stopped numbering. I don't know how to fix these cells because I'm not a nerd. I am, but just not about spreadsheets. So yeah. But yeah, here's the thing. 84.9. Look at this, bro. At least I'm consistent. I'm a little pissed though. And Eddie screwed up my opportunity. But for the closers octagon, I got an 84.95. The other day I got an 85. Today I got another freaking 85, bro. Like I need to break it. I need a 90 is what I need. But at least I'm consistent.
You need me. I mean, like that's essentially what you need right now. I'll get you over that hump, bro.
Are you gonna wait? Why did you use the word hump?
You know, it's Wednesday. It's hump day.
Okay, that's a solid save. I appreciate you. You do make me better. This is all true. For those of you guys who do not know, who doesn't know Jeremy Davis? One in the chat if you don't know who Jeremy Davis is. Then we're going to talk about why you make poor life choices.
I don't even know who I am.
That's true. Okay, that's good. Jeremy Davis is a G, one of the smartest guys in real estate, like third most handsome guy in real estate. He's out of Utah. He does a lot of cool stuff. He's getting ready to do a lot more cool stuff. You guys should know him.
Do you see the background?
Very nice. Very nice. I saw it when you locked in. Like, how far are you away from launch on that, Pumpkin?
November 1st, guys. For all of
Let's go.
If you guys don't know, I built out basically the entire communication platform for Sub 2. And because of Pace elevating me and elevating other students to do our own thing, we are going live with our own community here, or actually more of our own network. And we've already got 13,000 people on there. November 1st, we go live. If you guys have any interest in being involved, I'd love to have you. And no, I'm not an integrator. Everyone always thinks I'm an integrator because I'm designing these communication platforms. Here's the thing. I'm not doing it. I'm hiring other people and I'm providing the vision. See, that's how easy it is.
Jeremy, Jeremy's actually just a control freak, right? Super neurotic control freak. That's what he does. But he makes other people do the work. Kind of like Al. You and Alon have a lot in common.
If you guys want to join here, I'm just going to share you send the link in the chat real quick. Yeah, love to have you guys. We're going live. We're doing beta testing on November 1st. So yeah, here it is right here in the chat.
So you only want betas in the community? Make sure you join.
There you go. Anyway,
stuff. You're cute.
And by the way, we can hear your ding dong.
You can hear or could not hear?
We can hear it. Whenever someone joins, we hear ding dong.
Yeah, I know. It's a thing that Zoom does, and I don't feel like figuring out how to make it stop. So
you got to log out. It has to be done offline.
Live with the ding dong. Can you hang out for a minute? You want to judge a couple of these, dog?
Sure.
Okay, don't be so apprehensive about it.
Peter, what problem do I solve in my community? Well, let's start with this real quick. I have a full-time team. I have 5 staff members that are going to be dedicated to essentially monitoring the entire community. So if somebody posts I've got a product that they're looking to sell, we're going to verify that user, check EINs, LLCs, websites. We're going to give them a verified tag. Basically, we want to make sure this is a really safe environment. We want to make sure lenders are protected. We're not going to have any shady people be involved here. And so that's like one of the things we're trying to solve. We're also going to be bringing in a lot of like free education, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's that's where we're going to start.
Well, there you go, guys. Click the link and stuff. I did not know he was going to talk about that, but it's going to be yeah, of course it does, right? But it's just a different thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it doesn't provide that. We're just doing a little bit more hands-on.
Dope. Good luck with that, bro. That's going to be dope. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Out of curiosity, we're going to get into more of these things. Quick question. Who has learned anything today? One in the chat if you've learned anything today. Let's go. Lindsay's responses are my favorite. Lindsay does not hold back. Lindsay about to come up too, which is going to be cool. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Where's Boaz? Talk to me, dog. You've been chilling here quietly in the background, part of the Israeli connection. Okay, bet. Let us know, Lindsay. What are you thinking, Boaz? Like, what are you picking up on so far? How you feeling so far, dog?
I'm learning so much. Like, first of all, I think there is so much to learn and so much to get better from everyone here. And yeah, I'm really inspired.
I love that. That's awesome, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this. In the spirit of Jeremy jumping in here and doing it himself, I'm going to do it myself. How many of you guys have heard about the little announcement that I was going to make? Say me if you heard about an announcement that I was going to make.
You finally got the transition surgery approved?
No, they denied me. They denied me. They didn't believe me. It was very sad. Okay. Question for you. And I want this as an honest question. You guys, all of you guys, ask this question. And guys, don't feel any pressure here, right? Usually stuff like this is really hard for me to do. So I normally don't do it. That's why I've been doing this for a year and have not done it in a year. But I got to get better because when I do stuff like this, you hear so much value and response from people that are excited and that are learning and that are, you know, wish they could be involved with stuff like this. How many of you guys did not know, like say me in the chat, if you had no clue that I had a community where I taught this for real? Who did not know that? Interesting. You just found out from Eddie? Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. A lot of you guys don't know this. I'm going to actually walk through this real quickly. I started this just because of amazing people in this industry, like the Pace Morbies of the world, right? Who encourage people to be their best and jump out here. And I did my first couple boot camps, you know, because of him. And that turned into me launching a community and really kind of branching out here and trying to build my own thing to focus on what, right? Everybody has something that they're really good at. And one of the things I happen to be really good at is this: understanding people and teaching people how to get out of their own way and get really good at this thing we do in business, in real estate. One of the things that I know is I don't care how much you know about the real estate process, about underwriting, about all of these different things. That only gets you as far as you're able to communicate that to a seller. Effective communication is always our biggest roadblock. And the things that hinder us from communicating effectively are exactly that, which is why I started my community. For those of you guys who don't know, I'll show you my community, right? This is my primary community that I launched at the end of last year. We're just under a year old. I've done one webinar for it and have not talked about it since, right? This community, I'm here 3 times a week doing stuff like this, various versions of this. We have trainings that we've done. We did weeks on tonality and voice inflection. We did all of these different things, right? And it's just been a really, really exciting time. And to be honest with you, we're still in pre-launch in the community, right? We haven't even really begun to do the stuff that we're going to do in this community. Have not even begun. Anybody, guys, none of y'all better freaking lie. Tell the truth. Honest opinion. If you are one of my students that's in here, give me your honest opinion in the chat. Just honest opinion. And I'm not trying to sell y'all on this. I'm just telling you guys, right? So don't feel like this is a pitch thing. Y'all don't buy anything from me. I'm simply explaining this because sometimes you don't, the value that you're looking for is on the other side of something you didn't know existed. This is just me letting you know it exists. If you guys buy nothing from me, subscribe to nothing that I'm doing, that is completely okay. I will still do my best to help you. So feel zero pressure here today, please. For my students that are in here, do you guys feel like I do my best to go above and beyond and be available for you guys and over deliver as much as humanly possible? Tell the truth. I appreciate you guys. Eddie, you're one of the more recent people in the community. Like, toss some feedback. Just, and honestly, I have no clue what you're going to say. Eddie, did you know I was even going to do this today?
No, I thought you were going to do this tomorrow.
Yeah. So talk, like, just fill me in. Like, give me your thoughts, dude.
Bro, it's funny. We were just talking about this earlier. You're very different in the sense of there's not a sales tactic or a sales training that you follow, like Sandler method or like Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss. But you implement everything for the right situations. And I think that's the biggest value that you bring, is that you bring in experience from all different types of sales tactics, sales strategies, but really getting to the understanding the seller and understanding how to profile people and actually implementing the right tactic or right sales strategy into the conversation. So I think that's one of the most valuable things that we were just having a conversation about this earlier today, actually. So it's funny that you asked me.
I love that. Ooh, the Quijano method. That's good, Aaron. I think I'm gonna brand the human approach, because ultimately that's what this is. But Quijano method goes a little crazy. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Honestly, when you sent me the message yesterday, you were like, dude, like, I feel like I had my first seller cry on the phone with me. I feel like I've only been in your community for a month. That actually means a lot to me, right? It sounds silly, but that means that you've learned how in a short period of time, like, Peter was just like, wait, you did this quickly, right? Like, you learn how in a short period of time to get somebody to open up to you that much that they feel comfortable with some random stranger just tearing up on the phone, right? That shouldn't be something that happens periodically because you got someone in a really bad place. That should be something that you can create because you make people feel safe. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, man, I can't wait to hear a good script today. Nobody wakes up saying, I really hope I find myself in a great sales process, right? But you guys have heard me say this before. Everybody wakes up wanting to feel understood. Every human being has an inherent human need to feel heard and to feel seen and understood. And if we can provide that to somebody, that is the most valuable service that you can provide. Buying a house from somebody, closing a deal, a real estate transaction is important, but it's secondary to making them feel heard and valued along with that process. So that's my focus. So here's my point. That being said, guys, that's what I focus on. That's kind of my goal. And my goal is to really do this. I've heard some really, really cool stories just in chains. And my goal is to work with people. Like we're all strategizing, doing deals together. Al got in the community like a little robot, picked up all the stuff and started closing a bunch of deals. People make fun of him for how quickly he just picked this stuff up and started doing it. And he doesn't even do deals anymore himself. He just like, we call him a lead pimp. I swear to God, I have a chat on WhatsApp called Lead Pimps. And he's legitimately, I swear to God, there is 30 freaking new leads jumping in that thing every single day that he's just randomly pimping out to people. Why? Because we're kind of like a family. We work together. It's a small, intimate group as compared to some other stuff, just because I wanted to keep it small for now, but it's time to get bigger. Al is definitely the little brother. I bet you right now, fool, I bet you won't. But that's the goal, guys. So that being said, that is the focus of this. That's why I built this. So what is this community? This is the For Life community. It's $3,500, right? This is why I'm not trying to get anybody, because not everybody can afford $3,500. I have the Affirm option, so if somebody wants to do payments, they can do that. That's fine. I have other options for people who are looking to be more hands-on, also fine too. The purpose, if somebody joins this community, the goal is for you to be in for life. In for life. If you need help doing deals, if you need to call me, you're in, right? Like we're going to try to do our best to help you lock up deals as much as I can. And my goal is to bring other people in the community that can help you do exactly that. And it's a super cool thing, right? I'm going to be creating personality tests, personality profiles. I haven't even begun to release what I'm going to be releasing this community. Anybody who's a part of this, they get to be a part of that. So if you guys are interested, let me know. I'll give you the link for that. If you're not, I don't care. Whenever you guys feel like this is something that's ready for you, we would love to have you. Legitimately zero pressure. However, what I do recognize is, matter of fact, I'm gonna put this link here just in case. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Lindsay. However, what I did realize is that not everybody's ready to go all in. Not everybody's ready to commit all the way. They might want to emotionally, they might want to mentally, but financially, they may not be in a position. So then what are your options? Like figure it out on your own, slowly but surely, and not be able to do anything at all and kind of be out here trying to like, you know, straggle along. That's an option. And I respect people that go through that route. But what I've been trying to figure out for the last few months is like, how do I solve for being able to provide at least some value, even if they can't get the full thing, even if they're not in the community and they're not working with us and they're not getting this hands-on stuff and we're not going through all the trainings, you're not getting all of the detailed breakdowns, you're not getting all of that stuff, but at least you can get something. And that's where the Closers Arena is born. The Closers Arena was literally just created. You guys are literally the first people that are going to hear about this. Closers Arena is official. I wasn't going to do this today, but I just decided, screw it. Why wait? Closers Arena officially launches today. Closers Arena is a school community, right? That I literally just created. There's nothing in here. We literally filled this out this morning. This is how new this is. This is not something that's planned out. And what's the Closers Arena? The Closers Arena is not my main community. It's not even close because the amount of above and beyond we go in there is going to be crazy. I will always recommend someone when and if you're in a position, be there, promise. However, for those who can't get there, I wanted to provide something. So the Closers Arena is going to be what? Closers Arena is going to be this, right? It's going to be one day a week on every Tuesday in my primary community. We do role plays and call calibrations. We do this. We don't do it 3 days a week. We don't do it multiple days a row, but we do this on Tuesdays. That's the way we have it scheduled in the community, is to do exactly calls like this. So once a week, you can come and do this. You can come and practice. You can get in the arena. You can hear this feedback. You can test yourself. Y'all have seen a couple of the different role play options. I got a bunch more of different role play options that we use to kind of create the opportunity to test people to get outside of their comfort zone. That's something that we'll be doing there. If you have calls that you've been doing and you want us to review those calls, give you some feedback on what you can do better, we'll do that there, right? But here's the best part of that. You guys see there's a bunch of people in here who are a part of my main community, right? So everybody that's in my main community will also be in this community. They get everything that I'm doing for free. They're going to be in this community as well. That's just a benefit. Anything that I'm doing in regards to this, I want my main community people to be a part of it. All of my main community people are getting in here, right? Why is that important to you guys? Well, if you're newer and you don't have leads and you need help finding leads, you're willing to do the work, you just don't know how to do the rest. Well, we got lead pimps in here, right? We got a bunch of people who are actively calling leads. We got people with a bunch of leads. We have people who can help close deals. Maybe you can just JV with people who are a little bit farther along in the journey. Here's the cool thing. Let's say you're like, you know what? I want to do something like this because I don't have all the leads. I don't have all the skills. Let me work with Al. And Al's like, hey, here's some leads. And let's say you struggle. Well, the cool thing is if you JV with Al or you JV with Giovanna or you JV with Rodolfo or any of these other people, because they're in that community, here's the cool thing. They're in my community all the time. So they're getting much more hands-on like mentorship and training than anybody else is because I'm with them for like 20 hours a week. And that's not an exaggeration. Yeah, I go crazy on these Zooms sometimes. I've been to be here for like 6-8 hours. I'm weird like that. So they're in these Zooms. You go to them and you JV with them, fantastic. But here's the thing. If they can't lock up a deal and you're JVing with them, guess what? They're in my main community. So I'll freaking help them close it. Why? Because they're in my community. So by extension, you're JVing with me without even having to JV with me directly. And in some situations, I may JV with people, depending on the situation, right? Like Lindsay has a deal that she's talking about. I'm going to see if I can help her with that. She's not even in any of my stuff, right? My goal is always to provide as much value as possible. So to summarize my whole point here, I will say this. If you guys buy nothing from me at all, I like that, Lindsay. I'm here for that. If you guys buy nothing from me at all, that's fine. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Come hang out. As much as I'm doing free stuff, I'm going to try to do more, and let's get deals together until you're in a position to do that. If you guys are in a position to make an investment and get outside of your comfort zone and you want to go to my main community, do that, right? If you got to use Zelle to get it done, or not Zelle, Affirm and make a couple payments, do that, right? I think it's worth every penny in my opinion. My students may agree. You can ask them questions if you want to. However, for everybody else who's not at the $3,500 point, but you don't want to be on the outside of your own, that's where the Closers Arena is born. All this is, it's a $99 a month community. That's all it is. It's a $99 a month community that you can join, and you get calls like this. Every single Tuesday, we will be doing some version of this, right? Everything that you've seen here in the pitch battles, some version of this will be happening every single Tuesday. So once a week, we'll be doing stuff like this. Plus, you'll get access to the rest of the people in my community, plus any other cool stuff that I decide to do. If I get a random ass idea, like I did this morning when I decided to launch this thing, you guys will be a part of that too if I decide to include you guys in that. However, final thing, I'm offering a special that I promise you I'm only doing this week. This is ending this week. I'll probably end it tomorrow. I don't know that I'll leave it till Friday. I may. I genuinely don't know. But this is, I think this is it. Is this it? Nope. It's not the right one. How do you copy? See, I don't even look. This is how much I don't even know about this community. Members, calendar. Y'all know how to do this? Here, I'm gonna get it from somewhere else. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. Yeah, it's $99 a month. I will have a different thing where I'm going. What I'm offering for the next couple of days. Let me get this link in here. What I'm offering for the next couple of days is this. If you buy 5 months, you get 7 months free. So legitimately, if you pay for 5 months upfront, you get the rest of the year for free. Buy 5 months, 7 months free. And that literally, I'm only doing that for the next couple of days. That's kind of crazy. I think it's probably too much, but I have a hard time selling my own stuff to people. So Closers Collective is for life. Unless you do something extremely insane and start stealing from people, in which case it may not be for life. But if you're a decent human being, I want you guys there forever. 10 years from now, if I launch some crazy new thing, I want you guys to be a part of it. We start doing a bunch of cool stuff. Like I want people on, like, Al, how often are you and I talking just about random stuff? Is it, we probably talk more outside of regular Zooms than we do in Zooms, correct?
Yep. And 90% is not about real estate, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. I won't say what it's about because I don't want to put your business on the streets, but it's good. It's good stuff. I just want to be there. Giovanna, tell me the truth. Let's go. I appreciate you, Peter. Here is the school link for everybody. Giovanna, give me your opinion. For those of you guys who don't, let me give you guys a little, and then I'm gonna shut up about this. I'm gonna move on because I hate doing it. I really hate doing it. I teach sales all the time, but I hate talking about my own stuff. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. It's weird. Okay, you're by nature a little bit more of an introverted person, yes?
Yes.
Okay, Giovanna, what about you? Are you by nature a little bit more of an introverted person?
would say so. Yes.
Okay. I want to talk about this because it's about profile building. Kate, I've known you longer, so we'll go with you. Then we're gonna go with Giovanna. We're gonna wrap up with her. Then I'm gonna shut up. What happens is when you click it, Lindsay, go to the next one. Well, you have to fill out the information. It gives you the option on the second page. It's stupid. If it doesn't, let me know. But the first, I had thought the same thing. And then when you sign up, it goes to the next page and then you get to pick both. You get to pick the annual or whatever. Kate, your opinion. People think that closing and sales and stuff like that, you got to have a certain personality type. All right, Pumpkin, come back if you want. What's your experience from an introvert's perspective who's not by nature comfortable with this? Like, have you learned something? Have you been challenged anyway? Interested? Just whatever thought you have.
Well, so something I shared with Daniel a couple weeks ago, just like the kind of impact this can have on your life outside of real estate, talking about tough questions. I had a seller I've been talking to for, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 months. And I could tell that her tone, something was off. And instead of just being like, oh, you know, she's having a rough day or whatever, I pushed past that. And it turns out she's in a domestic violence situation.
Holy crap.
And because I asked her, how are you? And when she said, I had a fight with my boyfriend, he was really unhappy. I asked her what that meant. I found out that she was not safe. And instead of buying her house, I was able to help her get the resources to become safe. So this is the kind of heavy stuff that like a year ago, I wouldn't have asked the follow-up, like, what do you mean he's unhappy? Like, you know, what does that mean? And yeah, she needed to get out of that. So this is the kind of stuff,
Wow.
the kind of tough questions that can make a difference in someone's life. And I followed up with her a couple times. As of now, she's still safe. So hopefully that continues. And that's yeah, like you do any of those Myers-Briggs, I come up as an introverted. I am a shy person. So it's definitely a tough question to ask someone.
It's interesting. Didn't you tell me you had a seller tell you one time that was like they thought you were aggressive? That was like the hugest win for you.
Yes, I had one person said I was relentless, which was like
relentless.
Yes, that was a very prideful moment of my life. I've never been called anything like that before. And that was because I was hounding him to schedule an appointment with me. He said to my husband, your wife was relentless, which is why we're here. So
wow.
That is not something that I am not known as anything like that in my family. I am a kind of a middle child. I'm the 4th out of 6. So not the relentless, aggressive one.
So you went from shy and introverted to a relentless closer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day long. Giovanna, what about you, lady? Fill us in.
I mean, a lot of what you teach like causes us to look inward, right? And causes us to really kind of get to know ourselves better. And that's like a huge factor in sales and what you teach and communication and I mean, like you continue to like push me out of my comfort zone, like all of us out of our comfort zones to really do the things that are gonna not only elevate us in sales, but like the big thing, elevate us in like communication and us as people. And so I'm happy every time I come into the community. I feel fortunate to be a part, and it really is like a family, and I'm thankful for you guys and thankful for you, DQ.
I appreciate you, lady. It means a lot, guys. Like, I think we are like a family, a lot of us. And like stories like this are huge to me because at the end of the day, like, okay, like let's be honest, guys, closing deals is cool, right? It's cool. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Making money is cool. It's going to change your life. It'll change the trajectory of your family and all of that. But at the end of the day, like for me, it's like, who are you as a human being? Right? Are you different when you go to bed tonight than you were when you woke up this morning? Are you dealing with the same stuff that's just been holding you back forever? We all got it. I got it. Still, we all got it. But it's just like, when do you start moving past that? And it usually starts when you deal with it. When you first even address that it exists and then put yourself in an environment where you have absolutely no option but to move past it. And anybody in my crew will tell you, I'm not going to let you stay in the stuff. As long as you give me permission to call it out, I'm calling it out. And it may get awkward, it may get uncomfortable, it may sound rude, there may be tears, all of those things. But I'm not doing my job. If y'all give me 8 cents, I take that very seriously. And I just want to do my part to make sure that you guys look back every single day and say, oh my gosh, this was one of the best decisions in my life. And that's my goal. And I feel like, that is being fulfilled in the community up at this point, but I'm not stopping. In fact, we're just getting started. So the fact that we got 2 ladies who have found themselves as introverts and are looking for ways to push themselves outside of that. And even in just this brief period of time, what we discuss has begun to do that in so much that they're noticing it in their life. That for me is a win. So I love and appreciate you guys, seriously, more than you guys realize. And like, comments like that mean a lot to me. Lets me know I'm doing this for the right reason. That being said, done with all the selling crap. I love y'all, all of y'all. If y'all want to be a part of what we're doing, you got the links. I'll post them one more time in case you fell out and came back in, because a couple people have. I'll post them one more time. If you want to join nothing and pay me no dollars, pay me no dollars. I am totally fine with that. Come hang out with all the free stuff. As much as I'm doing them, I would love to help y'all. If you guys know me, you know that's how I roll. If you guys want to jump into one of the things, jump into one of the things. If you guys have more questions about either one, let me know. I will happily take some time afterwards to try to chat with you if I can. And if not, if you don't want to hear it from me because I'm biased, talk to one of the people in the community. I'm sure many of them, I don't want to speak for y'all. I have no idea. It may not be, Lindsay. I do not know yet. I will keep you posted though, as soon as I know. So yeah, I will, but yeah, if you guys want to talk to one of the students in the community, talk to them. Maybe they will be willing to give you their opinions on the topic. They may have better opinions than I will. I know some of them will talk to quite a few different people. That being said, that's enough. I'm done. Here's the 2 links one more time. Let's move on. Oh, look at you, Kate. Appreciate you. Kate, just put her number in there, y'all. There's that one for the main community. There's this one for the once a week community that we just launched today. It's going to be fun. We just launched that. All right, let's get back to work. Ellis Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, where you been, man? What you been doing? You been out here sweet talking to old ladies?
No, man, just been busy. But when I saw your name come across my email, anytime I get a chance to plug into what you're talking about, man, I'm plugging in.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I saw you've been doing like flips and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yeah, I've been well, they're not mine. I'm
Okay.
still not doing personal flip of mine, so a lot of them I'm working on for other people. But yeah, I'm just trying to hold on to the ones I got. My first sub 2 is doing great. So yeah, just out here grinding.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Cool seeing you, man. We got to connect. Hopefully you enjoyed a little fun. We're just having some fun out here today, doing some competition, some twists on some competition stuff today, man.
Absolutely. And you always dropping nuggets, so if I can catch 1 or 2 throughout my day, I'm catching them.
I appreciate you, man. I'll try. I'll do my best. If I fail to deliver, tell me. Say bad words to me or something.
I haven't come across that yet.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Nice seeing you, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to this. Let's bring some people up here. Boaz, you ready to go, dog? You ready to give this thing a shot?
Born ready.
Oh, okay. All right. Excuse me. All right.
Ready to arena.
Boaz was out here closing from the womb. Let's see. All right, Boaz, talk to us about what does your business look like right now? What kind of leads are you calling? Refresh us.
Yeah, usually I'm dealing with a lot of kind of tired landlords. That's usually what we're talking with. Haven't came across pre-foreclosure probates yet. Some divorce. But yeah, we're doing a lot of novation wholesaling. Just in the beginning. We started 2 months ago.
Okay, that's fantastic. That's awesome, man. What is your biggest strength in talking to sellers? What's your biggest weakness so far?
I think my biggest weakness is reducing the prices. I think my biggest strength is finding with every person a way to connect. That's what I'm doing for a living. I'm doing service sales. So it helped me a lot.
Service sales for what?
HVAC, construction, stuff like that.
Okay, so your biggest weakness is what? Connecting?
My strength is connecting with person.
Oh, your strength is connecting. Okay.
Yeah, my not good part is reductions, talking about the pricing, stuff like that.
Okay.
This is where I'm not good at.
So let's do this. Kate, Al, you said you got a seller you want to call right now?
Doesn't have to be right this minute, but can do it on the Zoom. That's what I meant.
Okay. Should we
I can
do
wait.
it? You want to do it real quick? Get it out the way? See if you actually still know how to close deals? No pressure. If you don't know how to close deals, it's fine. You can just tell everybody.
Sure. I feel like I want to tell what the background of this seller is, like the lead is.
Okay.
So-
Do it. Fill us in, and then we'll do Boaz. Kate, you heard with his situation, so if you want to think of a creative seller situation to throw at Boaz when we go to him.
Okay, let me just text him real quick. Hey, I'm gonna give you a call in 2. All right. All right, what happened with this seller? So we got a guy in this community, his name is Nathan. I don't know if he's here. I think he dropped out, but so he was talking to a lead in California last night, and he told me, he was on the phone and he texted me, because that's a lead I sent him. He texted me saying, this guy has another company, is about to sign with them for $225. Can you check this out real quick, see if we can offer something better, like about a higher price or a sooner closing? And I was like, Nathan, just tell him I'm gonna call him because I want to, I just want to figure out what's going on. So he gets off the phone. I call the seller right after. So I call him and I tell him basically, hey, I'm not here to necessarily steal your deal. Sorry, somebody else's offer, but I just want to be here to make sure that it checks out. Obviously, not everybody is in real estate. I just want to, I heard Nathan told me about this. I want to see that, if you are going to sign with somebody, then it's the right thing to do. And he opened it up. He told me what's going on. And then I told him about a couple concerns I had and a couple problems that may come up. Basically, what the other company had offered him was an ovation. And I told him that I don't know who these guys are, but if you use, for example, the wrong realtor, or if you price it too high, then there's just these different things that in 2-3 months from now, your house is on the market, but they don't have anything to show for it. And you're either back at square one or getting asked for a price reduction, or even worse, like the house didn't sell, it just sat there on the market. Now nobody wants it. And now you're stuck with a house that's in worse market condition than it was 3 months ago. And he was like, oh, really? The other guy didn't even tell me about that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. What they're offering is fine, but they just need to know what they're doing. It's like, okay, I gotcha. I was like,
so
okay.
hold on 1 second. I want to it's too bad that Peter's not here to hear this. Guys, this, in my opinion, is a much better alternative to scorching the earth, right? This is what I mean when I say, when you learn to get intentional and broaden your communication tool belt, you realize that there's a lot more ways to overcome stuff like this. So rather than scorching the earth and just bashing the competition, Al simply edified the competition by saying, look, I don't want to steal from them, and maybe they're great people, but have you considered these? And sometimes those seeds of doubt that are subtle from a place of being genuinely concerned are much more powerful than saying bad things about your competition, because that usually doesn't come across as good as to other people as you realize. So yeah, as a summary, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's exactly what helped build trust. And that showed when I asked him, hey, listen, man, I'm happy to go back and run our numbers, not necessarily to give you a better offer, but to see what a real offer is. And it was like, yes, understanding that what he wants it might not be reality. I was like, okay, Today we run the numbers. Oh, by the way, last night I took a quick look. I didn't run the numbers, like I didn't have an offer ready, but I gave him another call telling him, hey, listen, man, I'm taking a look. There's red flags here. Don't sign the 225. He already had a contract in his inbox. He was reading that contract to me on the phone. Told him, hey, man, don't sign that. Like super high chance. Explain to him the red flags. And that's basically it. So he didn't sign, and he's just waiting to hear back from me. But I kind of set the stage for the fact that what I'm gonna offer him might not be what he's happy with, but it's just gonna be what the market says. So that's where we're at. Matt, which is in the community, is an underwriter, so he just sent me his opinion. He thinks for an ovation we got to be at 185 to 195, and for a wholesale 155 to 165. I'm gonna go with an ovation because it's a really rural area, so I feel like it's gonna be tough to find cash buyers out there. So I do want to use the market. But let's see. I actually responded back that he's cool with me giving him a call.
Let's go.
All right. Were there any questions before I make this call?
What were the red flags that you were talking about?
So one, the price.
Right.
It's like a tiny area, and there were 5 houses on the market just sitting there for 2 months, for 3 months, price reductions, just everything going wrong for an ovation. Like you have to compete with these other houses. So that's basically it. The days on market, houses were just sitting there forever. And the price, 225 was just crazy. They had to put it on the market for 270, which was just not it. Anything else?
No. If you need help, you need to bring in a third voice or something like that, let me know. I can yell over Zoom or something.
I hope not, because that would be already the third person, but let's see.
That's okay.
I also did a really good job talking to the seller. I just wanted to.
You wanted to let everybody know?
It's important to know that too. Yeah, it's a great car. I even recorded it too, so we'll talk about it.
It was a 10 out of 10 delivery.
Massive trust, and I sowed little tiny seeds of doubt, but I didn't scorch. I didn't scorch the earth.
Did you show him a picture of your beard? I feel like that would help.
No, but he could like sense the beard energy over the phone. So,
Okay.
I don't want to distract.
No. I appreciate you. If you have a beard and you don't deliver beard energy, you're missing opportunities, and I would advise you to do better.
Yeah. By the way, I completely forgot about this. While some people like y'all are on your sales process, we get off the phone, telling this guy I'm at the gym, sending him a photo, and then he starts sending me photos of his bodybuilding physique, and we were just vibing. That's
Wait,
how,
are y'all doing a deal, or are you guys dating? What's happening?
That's a lot of.
hopefully both.
Hopefully both. All right, I respect the W. Get the W where you can.
Don't show all those photos.
Yeah, don't show them all.
There's some other ones you don't want to see.
It's a public Zoom, bro.
All right, I'm gonna mute you guys. So the only way I'm gonna able to is the chat.
All right,
Tony.
What y'all don't realize is that when I talk to Elon, I don't really talk. Y'all, like I said, I don't really talk about the community. Somebody in the community brought him and was like, "Can you please talk to him before him?" I was like, "All right, bet."
Hey, what's up, Al?
Tony, how you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm trying to deal with my pool, man. I gotta drain. You know, you gotta drain your pool like once every, I don't know, a few years, and to get all the calcium hardness out of it. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a pump, so the pump pumps all the water out of it. But it's just, pools are expensive, dude. The chemicals are ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous how much it is chlorine right now.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's the one at your house, right?
Oh yeah, this is my house, dude. Yeah, this is my house. They got one at my mom's too. It's a community pool. It's kind of nice. It's a jacuzzi and all that they got there.
Interesting.
Yeah, they have a what's it called, like a clubhouse and all that. But they have kids and all that living in there, so I don't know why. You know, it shows. I guess I don't know why they call it a mobile home park, but it doesn't look like a mobile park. It's actually called the Oaks Community, but when you start running paperwork on it for some reason, it comes up. Maybe it used to be or something. There are mobile homes in there though. Maybe that's why. But the majority of those places, those are all houses, dude. Nice houses. Some of them are real nice. The thing I like about it, it's real quiet over there, dude. There's no partying, no noise. Like if it's somebody that wants to live like that. They have kids living there too, though, which I thought was kind of weird. They got a basketball court, all that stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely sounds like better than most mobile home communities out there, right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think anyway.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time up there.
Yeah. Right. Well, here's the thing. Why I gave you.
Hey, I got my wife's calling me. I'll call you right back.
All right, call me back.
Why did you
That was
close
the
it?
most.
You literally had 13 seconds to close that deal and you didn't do it?
Yeah, that was the most uninteresting call probably in the history of this community.
Yeah, probably, but it was good. I'm glad that it came from you so we can make fun of you about it. So this guy, essentially the takeaway in that conversation is this guy really, 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 really doesn't want his mobile home to sound like a mobile home.
Yeah, that too. But he's actually right. That community is pretty cool.
They even let kids live there, so it's a pretty cool place.
When you got a mobile home where they let kids live, you're just winning. Knocking it out the park. What's your strategy with this guy, Al? Where are you going? What's your goal? How do you close this?
He's frustrated. Like he was really frustrated me breaking into him last night. He just wants to be done with it.
Okay.
Like he's a smart guy. He's an analytical guy. And he thought he was about to make a smart choice, but then I broke it to him that he's not actually about to do that, and that was frustrating. So, but I wasn't even I wasn't also able to give him what the actual truth is yet. So I feel like that was frustrating. I was about to tell him that I was able to squeeze from Matt because he was super busy underwriting this deal. Tell him that that's my guy. Like that's how I know exactly what the market says. Even gave him like a little speech yesterday about how the market, decides the value and not me nor him. So I tell him that I had my underwriter run through this. Tell him, hey, I'm gonna give you what the situation is, but let's just get it done. Like I'll go for the close, just push him to make a decision. And by the way, because he's frustrated with having to still deal with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't necessarily push him to make a decision. And just tell him where we're at. Just tell him 180, 185. Explain what the process is, and that's it.
And you're going for an ovation? How are you going to novate this? What were the on-market prices of the other properties out there?
So if we were to put it on the market, I feel like maybe 230, 225. And that's like
home?
Yeah, no, so all the other houses are selling for like 240, 250. So I want to be lower than everybody else.
What year is this? Is it financeable?
2000.
Okay, so you should be good. It's a fixed, it's got deactivated title, all the things.
I don't know. It looks like a single family, to be honest with you, but I don't know if that means anything.
It probably does, but it doesn't necessarily. You realize we had this exact same conversation about the random mobile home deal that we were doing on Friday?
Yeah, but that was different.
In what way? Are we going to buy that?
That was just a trailer. I can put the address in the chat.
For what? What's this?
I don't know if you want to take a look at it.
You just putting your business out there for everybody?
Yeah, because that's how I'm confident that this is not going to work with anybody else.
Ooh, let's go.
Unless you want to waste his time and offer him $5 million.
If you want to compete, you can compete. Just make sure you come to win. All right, let's look at this thing. Yeah, this looks not like a mobile home. It's got a garage, dog.
I know.
All right, that's a little bit that's a little unique. All right, just for you guys know, here's the with two different ones. This one's that's maybe Joel. Here's the house, just so you guys can see it. Aquí tiene la casa presente. All right, here it is. So, yeah, that's crazy. Does not look like a mobile home. This is definitely a fixed, unless they got it on bricks underneath, and then they just happen to connect garage. Now this should be good, man. I think you'll get this. I think as an ovation. Where is this? Where's
Open up the map. It's this. It's like an hour away from Sacramento, but it's just the middle of nowhere.
Buena Vista. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I feel like this is a decent price. 185 with an ovation. I feel like this is a decent deal. This is a deal. The deal will do. The numbers will number here. I think it's possible for the numbers to number. All right, bet. So now this guy's gonna call you back whenever he gets around to it because you let him speak to his spouse instead of speaking to you because you're not good at your job. Is what I hear.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Should we just wait here in awkward silence? We do some more role plays until he calls back.
I got a question.
When he calls back, tell him, "Hey, bro, I'm role playing. I'll call you back now when I got time."
I'm talking to my wife.
Boom.
Yeah.
Which one of us is your wife?
All of you.
I'm here for it. I'll take it. All right. What happened? What's your question?
I'm kind of confused. The way I built this, like, the way I set it up, like, I don't know how to go about the close. Like, if I could, would you? I don't know how to get there. That's
Where did you leave off last time? How'd you leave off the last conversation?
Oh, he's calling back. All right, we don't have time to do
let's do it. We'll do it. I'll type or jump, or you can bring me in.
Hello?
Hey, sorry about that, man.
That's fine.
Got back to Costco, but I did want to talk to you because, dude, I got so many people blowing up my phone. It's insane. And then so they're all telling me that they can get me what I want. So they're getting ready to send me contracts right now. So I don't know. I'm probably going to sign, dude. They're
Wait.
going to buy it for cash.
Wait, hold on. So this happened, was this in the past, like, month, or this just started happening today?
Today, everything unfolded today.
Gotcha. Okay, well, what are they offering you?
225. I wanted 235, but 225.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, Tony, can I shoot you straight?
because I got these people that they sent me an appraisal, and it appraised for 297 to 318. And I guess this one person that I'm talking to said they literally just bought a house in that same subdivision. They're familiar with all that. So they said that they'll offer me 225.
Interesting. Wait, so they bought a house in that community?
Yep. That little community that my mom's house is in. He said, we just purchased one there not too long ago. He said, we'll give you, he goes, what are they offering you? I said, well, they're doing a novation. Remember that guy I was telling you about last night?
Yeah.
They're doing a novation. And he's like, well, I don't think they're not house buyers. They're probably like a middleman. They're cutting people out, just getting a profit. And I'm like, I don't know how it works. And then he said, yeah, I think that's what's going on. He goes, what are they offering you? And I told him the truth, 225. And he goes, well, I think we can, if we match them and we just pay you cash and you don't have to wait for the novation, because the novation thing is where they put it on the market it, sell it. He said, we just pay you cash and you take the house, and would you be interested? I said, yeah, of course. I mean, why wait around, right?
Of course. Yeah, I get that. So they bought supposedly bought another house in that same community. Now they're interested in buying your one. I mean, what were they gonna do with the house if they bought it?
They already sold it.
No, I mean, if they buy yours, what are they gonna do with it?
Probably put some money into it and sell it. Thing. But it doesn't need a lot of money put into it. There's not really nothing wrong with it. I mean, you can do the paint or, you know, a little bit of cosmetics, whatever you want, but there's nothing wrong with my mom's house. I thought about living in that, honestly. But I got a pool that I put in a couple years ago, cost me 50 grand. I'd be wasting my money, man. But it is bigger than my house.
Got it. I mean, well, so what is it you think they could sell it for if they actually put in work into it?
Well, I don't really know, but I know I just got an appraisal that I'd be more than happy to send you, where he's telling me it's worth, what did he say, 297 to 318.
That's
But
interesting.
he has a bunch of comps. They run some weird comps in that area, bro. I think that's what's holding things up. I think they start comparing stuff to mobile homes or something. But this is not a mobile home. It's not your typical, you know, it's not a mobile home park. They convinced it, I guess, is one, but it's really not, man. And I guess this guy knows that because they obviously bought a house already, so he says. But I don't know. I mean, dude, if they give me I'm happy to take the 225, to be honest. I mean, I wanted 235, but whatever. It's 10 grand, bro. 10 grand in today's world, that's almost nothing. No big.
Right. No, that it's interesting what you're saying. I mean, I do no, I mean, I guess I'll ask you this. I mean, what happens if they don't perform? I mean, like we discussed last night, they put you under contract, but 30, 60, 90 days later, whatever, 2 weeks later, you find out that they're going to...
Bro. No, they're paying cash for the house. I'm turning over the keys, going to the escrow. They're buying the house. They're paying me cash for the house.
So...
They're doing an ovation. They're doing a cash sale.
So they don't have an inspection period in their offer? They don't come in?
Yeah, I haven't even gotten that yet. What is that? Where they have to
Yeah. So I've never heard. Yeah, I mean, if they weren't even at the house, I've never heard of an offer for almost $300,000 where they don't have an inspection period, where they're gonna come in and see what kind of work it needs. Or alternatively, there is another scenario where, and I know this is going to be tough to digest because you got so many people, different people talking to you and giving you different ideas, but
45, bro. 45.
yeah, I get that. But there's, like I said, I mean, I'm in real estate for a living, so I know how things look behind the curtains. And what I'm trying to do, Tony, is, explain some of these things to you so that, you're aware of them too, so that the decision that you're making, you're a smart guy, Tony. You're analyzing everything. I want you to have the right information, not just 225, 235. That's not enough information for you to make necessarily a smart decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I mean, and I feel like we had a similar conversation yesterday, but when they're offering 225, and if you want, in a minute, like, we're gonna get into what my underwriter told me. I was actually that was the reason for my call today, but I'm not even sure whether it still makes sense doing, but there is an inspection period. There's going to be one in their offer. And what that means is that they're going to have 10 days, 14 days to go into the house, and there is a chance that they're not actually interested in buying the house, but they're also a middleman. And they're trying to get somebody to buy it for cash from them for $235.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's not the case. How do you find out if that's the case?
So that's the right question. That's the question you need to ask. And you want to know my honest response to that? My honest response is understanding what the market says. Now, but it is a little like Tony, this is a little confusing for me. And I know you spoke to me and Nathan, but I also have a partner named Daniel. I think he's gonna like I think he wants to talk to you. I think it's gonna make it super clear for you, and you know, at the end of the day, you'll have all the information. You're gonna be able to make a decision. Is that okay if he reaches out to you?
Yeah, it is, but I don't know what numbers we're talking about here because I mean I'm getting bombarded, and I got this guy wanting to buy the house outright.
Yeah.
According to them, but when I read the contract, it's gonna say right there if you're giving me $225 or not. The contract's got everything there.
Yeah.
Out by the four corners of the contract, so I don't see how they could be, you know, telling me, well, we're going to give you $225, but we're really going to sell it. I don't care what you do with it.
Yeah.
All I know is that the contract is going to spell out, we're paying you as is for this house, $225, and you know that's it. I don't know about inspections. I mean, they can put that in there. You can put almost anything you want in a contract as long as it's not unconstitutional. Then you'd have to challenge it, even if it were unconstitutional. You'd have to go to court and prove that it was. I mean, you know, people put some crazy stuff in contracts that are constitutionally unenforceable, but it doesn't prevent them from putting that stuff in there.
Right.
I would just read the contract. I used to do a lot of legal work, bro. I was a criminal defense lawyer, you know, pro per for at least 15 years. It was many years ago. I did civil suits. I never did probate, but the law is the law. There's not a whole lot of differentiation from it, but there are different protocols and, you know, methods and formulas and whatnot, different arenas where you're supposed to present your legal arguments, of course. But I'm going to read the contract, but what you're telling me is that they might be just like these other people that are, I feel like they're trying to rip me off. But I don't know that for sure, and I don't want to go accuse somebody of that because maybe they're not. I actually like the guy. The guy seemed pretty cool, but I mean, you know, I mean, I don't know if I told you about myself, but I've lived a very, very hard life in my life. So I've met a lot of people who would blow. You know Lyle Menendez, the Menendez brothers. You see him on TV.
I mean,
they killed their mom and dad. They're trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I used to play chess with that dude on the yard every day. I mean, you don't know who you're talking to. You know, just because you know people are friendly doesn't mean they don't have a dark side, because everybody does. But just to give you an idea of my background and where I came from, so
yeah,
I'm not saying the guy's trying to rip me off or anything, because I don't know. But I also appreciate everything that you're teaching me. You know, because like last night, I really enjoyed our conversation because you kind of taught me a lot. And you know, I don't know if you know this, but I just found out today in the state of California, it doesn't even matter if you sign a contract. You have 72 hours to say no. I don't want to do that. You got it's a 72-hour grace period.
Yeah,
and especially if they don't come with a certain amount of money, they have to have. There's a percentage. I'm not positive what it is, but there is a number, and they only came with $1,000 in that contract, so it's not even enforceable almost. I mean, you know, you got 3 days to tell them no. 72 hours in California, so
yeah, some states have that.
Yeah, so but no, the state of California has that.
Yeah,
and that's just the law.
Yeah, but Tony, I mean, you got a few people talking to you. Let's just make everything more clear. I mean, Daniel, what do you think about this?
Hey, what's going on, man? My name is Daniel. I just happened to be nearby overhearing a little bit of the conversation, so I stuck around and decided to put my nose in the middle of it, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Nice to meet you. What was your name again? Say that again.
Anthony or
Oh,
it was
Tony, I got
Tony
you.
or
All right.
Anthony.
My name's Daniel, man. Nice to meet you, bro.
You too.
So here's kind of the situation. Like I've been listening. Yo, that's a crazy story about the Menendez brothers. Like legit, like you was locked up with them?
I did 26 years in prison, bro. Pelican Bay, Folsom, Clinton, Soledad, Tracy. I mean, I've been all over. I was maximum security, man. Charles Manson, the Ean, you know, those Leonard Lake and that weirdo Ean was raping and killing all those. I seen him at New Folsom. And, you know, you get stabbed when you hit the yard. I got stabbed at the Bay. I stabbed and got stabbed. I've been out 20 years. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm not perfect, bro. I'll slip with the cuss word here and there, but I changed my life. I rewired my brain. I got a family. I got a 6-year-old daughter. I got a 15-year-old boy. You know, we do travel ball, baseball. I just dropped. I day trade for a living. You know, so they give me about $500,000 to play with. So I play with their money and I make my money. You know,
Nah,
and
that's huge,
what I do
man.
for a living.
Number respect for that, man.
I try to pull in $5,000 a month. My goal is $250 a day. Today I did 1,078. Called it a day. You know, I don't want to get too crazy with it. So that's what I do for a living. But you know, when I got out, they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have. So when I got out, everybody was honking at me, and I had to ask some dude in the parking lot, like, "Hey, dude, what's everybody honking for?" He was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, everywhere I go, these cars are like beep, beep, beep." He goes, "Oh, they're locking their car doors." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, they're locking their car doors." I said, "With a remote control?" He's like, he looked at me like I was crazy. And they're like, "Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Nah,
next month will be 20 years.
Nah, that's huge, man. And big respect, bro. Like I know, you know, I mean, I know a lot of people have been down that road, man, and not everybody comes out on the other side the way you did. So nothing but respect for that, bro. Seriously.
No, they don't. They really don't. They really don't. I see so many people. They're gone, bro. They're gone. But I can tell you stories right now. My celly's on death row. You can look it up. Kenny Biver, Ricky Sheehan, Solano, Calvin Cowboy. He's at Pelican Bay. Combat Carl. A lot of dudes are dead. I watched a lot of dudes get stabbed. I got PTSD real bad, but you know, I'm pushing through it. I'm still here. I got my family. My family changed my life. You know, my mom just passed away of leukemia right here in my house. You know what I mean? She died in my arms. I actually couldn't watch that. I couldn't watch it, bro. I had to leave. It hurt too much, man. But yeah. So I've been going through that for the past since September 19th. She passed away, and I don't know. That's one of the biggest reasons why I just don't want her house, dude. I just don't want to deal with it. She got so much stuff still there. Luckily, my wife went up there and wiped it out. Did a pretty good job. But you know, there's TVs, there's old tools, there's a 6-foot ladder, there's 4 kayaks. She used to like to kayak. There's 2 new kayaks. There's 2 old ones. There's a bunch of stuff up there that it's not $1 million, but I mean that TV that's a 55-inch TV that's mounted on the wall. You know, there's one in the garage too. It's 43, but I got my own stuff. I don't need no TVs. I mean, I'm gonna put one out here in the back yard here with my gazebo next to the pool when I get ready, man. But I don't need those TVs, man. I just leave them there. Whoever can help them. That's my mom's. You can smell my mom when you walk in there. I can smell her perfume.
Wow, dude, that's tough,
I
man.
don't even like to go up there, dude. I just don't.
Bro,
Get ready to cry here, man. You got to leave me alone, man. I'm getting ready to cry, bro. So yeah. So anyways, I don't know. Whatever you guys, I don't know. I got some guy right now offering me $225 cash, man, and the other dude's trying to get me $225 on an Ovation contract. So I don't know what you guys are doing, but honestly, I just want to get rid of the house, man.
Let me ask you this, man. Can I just get past all the, you know, sales? Let me try to buy your house stuff, and can I just shoot you straight, bro?
Do what? Oh, hey, dude, that guy that's offering me 25's calling me. Let me call you back.
Well, hold on. Do you mind if we wrap up real quick? You just chat with him. Let's wrap up here so that way at least you don't have to worry about bouncing back and forth. Is that cool?
Well, he's gonna send me a contract for $25K, bro. I got to take this call. I'll call you right.
All right, sounds good. My only question is he there? Okay, here's my only question, man. I may or may not be able to make you a better offer. I can't do that if he's on the phone, though. You let me know, no pressure. Take whatever offer you got to take. I just want to know if you want to give me the opportunity to give you mine before you hear his. He must have switched over. He didn't hang up. He switched over to the call. He probably didn't even hear me. He didn't even hear me.
No. So do I stay or do I hang up?
Let's hang out for a minute. Let's see what he says. Put it on mute. Put it on mute.
Wait, confusing me. Do I hang up?
Mute him. Mute him. Leave it on. Mute him, just in case he hops back over.
Okay. I can hear him. He cannot hear me.
Huh?
I can hear him. He cannot hear me.
That's the way mute works.
No, you said mute him, which really confused me.
Are we on the same page right now?
No, because you don't, bro. All right, let's move on.
All right. Here's the thing. Had I got to this dude 90 seconds earlier, he may not have taken that call. I ain't get a chance to say anything.
I know, bro.
That's the tough part. But it's all right. It is what it is. Like, here's the thing. If I get a chance, I'll just show y'all the direction I was gonna go with this guy. Oh my God. Sorry, I just got a message. If I get him back on the phone, I'll just show you guys the direction I was gonna go. If I don't, then that's fine. We just won't, I'll explain it to you. But here's the thing. Part of what I was gonna say is that he maybe needs to take that offer. Because the reality is I'm looking through the comps, there are no recent comps. But there are comps in the 300s. So our numbers, we may be able to do something like that. I would want to know if this guy's exit is to actually close, hold, and flip. It may be. If the guy specifically said he wasn't going to novate, he means he understands it. I don't know that he's trying to do a cash offer for wholesale. I feel like he might have been actually making a cash offer. Because if the guy flipped the previous house, he may be flipping this one. I'm looking at a flip here.
But
go ahead.
The DQ, we ran through this, and the days on market are like a gazillion.
It doesn't. No, look, let me. Is he there? Did he say something?
No, and
just hang up. Just hang up, bro. Just hang up. If he calls back, he calls back. Let me see if I can find this comp.
Was that you that called me?
Was that
419?
I didn't call you.
Okay.
Look, listing remove, listed for sale, listed remove, listed for sale, price change. Okay, this address could serve us.
He's calling back.
Is he? All right, bet. Hello?
Hey, me and Daniel are here.
Yeah, no. So, he just got the okay, man. So they're gonna close 14 to 21 days. He said that he got no problem with the 225.
All right.
That's what I asked for.
Let me just walk through this, man. Like the question I was asking you beforehand, because it sounds like you may have a decent offer. Do you mind if I just kind of shoot you straight and we get past all the let me try to buy your house stuff for a minute? Just have a real conversation with you.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah. What's up?
Yeah, here's my situation, bro. Like, and it may sound like I got a lot of respect for people in your situation. You know what I mean? I didn't come up in the best circumstances. I got out a bit early, joined the military at 17 so I can get away from it. And I got real close friends that I came up with that did not. And they've been in and out their entire lives. So
thank you for your service, first of all, because I'm pro law enforcement and I'm pro military. But I don't like the Democrats anymore, so I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, I'm pro law enforcement. I'm pro military.
No, I appreciate that, man. You might make some people mad with that. You ain't gonna make me mad with that. Here's like for me, I just like the reason I got into this business, bro. And I'm just gonna speak raw with you because I feel like you're gonna understand it. I try to say this to a lot of people when I have these conversations. It hits with some people more than others because not everybody comes from the same situation. But I ain't come from nothing. Nobody gave me anything coming up. I had to figure it out on my own.
Right.
part of the reason why I got into real estate was for that reason, because real estate does a couple of things for me. One of the things it does is it puts me in a position to help people where I came from learn how to get into an industry that maybe you got a bad background, maybe you don't have college experience, maybe you don't have all that, but you can still make good money, like life-changing money. And so a big part of what I do in this industry is teach people how to learn how to do this business well, so they can, help to change the trajectory of their families and break those curses that come to this, just, certain lifestyles. And you know exactly what I mean. The other part of it is just helping people, right? Like the reality is there's lots of people, there's millions upon millions of people out here with houses, man. And a lot of them are not in a great situation, some of them, and you're a perfect example. You're literally in a situation where it hurts to have that house. That's a real thing. And I get that. Yeah. And so for me, when I come into these conversations, man, I'm going to be raw with you. I look at these situations like, how can I help this person? And a lot of times I can. Sometimes I can't. And the only way I know how to do that is to be honest with people. So I'm going to be honest with you, man. The way I look at this, and then I'm going to ask you a question. The way I look at this is there's a couple of things that are important when you're selling a property. One is the amount of money you're going to get for the property. Two is the confidence that you have that the person that you're doing business with is the person you want to do business with, right? Because you and I both know sometimes you got to interact with people you would rather not interact with. You just don't have an alternative. In this example, you do. It sounds like the dude that you're talking to seems like a good dude, right? And I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's a great dude. Maybe he can follow through with it. I hear a lot of stories in this business, man. Literally had one earlier this week. Swear to God, it was an elderly lady. Her husband died 4 years ago. She's in California as well. Her husband passed away 4 years ago. She had an adjustable rate mortgage on her house. They doubled the rate, no exaggeration, doubled the rate on her. She's on a fixed income and she can't afford it anymore. So she is now in pre-foreclosure. She had an auction date. She didn't even know. I knew she had an auction date before she did. So I made her an offer. And then she's like, super nice. Hey, I thank you so much for being so honest with me. You told me, you explained this to me more than anybody else. We try to teach people what's going on because I don't want to convince you to make the decision I want. I just want to educate you. You make the decision you want. You know what I mean? And if I get to buy your house, great. If not, at least I help somebody. I get to go to bed and feel good about myself. That's just kind of how we feel. That's probably why Al walked you through what he walked you through. It's just how we operate. So I told her that. She was appreciative. She gave me her word. She was going to sell to us, nobody else. Next day, I'm spending money. I'm putting notaries together, doing all the things. Next day, but you already know where the story's going. Next day, she's ghosting. Ghost, bro. She went witness protection program, dog. Like gone. And I'm like, where is this lady at? Like we spending money. We got people on the way. So she finally answers the phone. Somebody offered me $5,000 more. And I'm like, all right. So I wasn't even mad. Here's my response that I gave to her. I said, I'm going to tell you two things. I said, if they can do that, I don't care how much money I've spent. I don't care. That is the better deal for you. You're breaking your word to me. You broke a promise to me. You're compromising your integrity, but that's cool. You got to do what you got to do. That's fine. Take the deal because I can't offer you that deal. Here's the other problem, though. I don't think they're telling you the truth. At some point, one of the reasons I love real estate is it's a math game. Like the market doesn't care what you think. The market doesn't care what I think. The market's going to do what it's going to do. So the cool thing about this is I can just be honest about my offer and I can let math tell you why. So I was like, I think he's lying.
Well, I was literally in the witness protection program. Just so you know, man, my fellow's on death row right now because I was in the witness protection program. Okay,
bro. Did you see her? If you see her, tell her I'm looking for her, dog.
That's April. Oh, get Bear. Okay. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because I had to get ghosted one time like that. My damn self.
That's hilarious, man. Now, but it happens, right? And here's what I told her. I was like, look, I think if you can get that deal, take the deal. But I was like, I honestly think, he's You got-
Come here, give me a kiss. Come here, give me a kiss. You're so pretty. I love you. I'm a 6-year-old, dude. I'm 58 and I got a 6-year-old.
Oh, you started right
taking
on
the
time, dog.
back? You taking the dog? Okay. My wife's 30.
Are you out here sounding like Elon Musk, dog?
I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear what you're saying, but let's keep it real, man, because you're keeping it real. Everything's going to be in the contract, man. I mean, like I said, it's going to be in the four corners of the contract. They can say whatever they want to say, but whatever's in that contract, that's what everybody's bound by that, dude.
Yeah, here's the thing.
What the market says after that.
Here's what happens, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say 3 points and then do what you want with this information. I'm laying it all on the table. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. If they can give you the better deal, just like I told this lady. Now, this lady, the dude called her back later and canceled on her, right? Because one thing that happens in our industry a lot is people send out contracts that are legally binding, but then they cancel those contracts when they realize they can't perform.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what this guy did.
He said, but wait a minute, he's not just putting $1,000 in. He said he's putting in a substantial amount to where they can't. There's a certain percentage, and you know better than I do. I don't know what it is, but I think there's a percentage where they're locked into it. And once you're locked in, you're locked in. Is that true or false? I don't know.
It can be. It all depends on the wording. If they're putting a high earnest money deposit, that can be indicative. But here's the thing: earnest money deposits don't go hard on signing. You can have an earnest money deposit of $100,000, and if you cancel within your cancellation period, you are required to pay nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody I know has a cancellation period in their contract, because what we do is we sign the agreement and then we go and we do our inspection period. And if something changes in that inspection period, meaning we change our mind, we realize we overoffered. Let me say, be clear. I am not saying they're doing this. I am not implying that they're doing this, but I will tell you.
No, I know. I got you. I understand.
Yeah, there are a lot of people, their business model is this. Their business model is tell the seller what they want, get them under contract, because once they signed a piece of paper, the commitment level is higher. And then what you do is you come back a week later, 2 weeks later, and say, "Ooh, my lender, ooh, I found a crack, ooh," and then they try to drop you down to a lower price under the assumption that since you've already signed, your likelihood of agreeing to that lower price is higher. I don't know that these guys are doing this. I'm not even applying that they are, but it does happen. That is what this other guy, that for this lady, that's what he was doing, because I knew his number was wrong. His number was wrong. I knew that from a mile away. I'm be honest with you. Your neighborhood's unique. I don't know if this guy's number is wrong. I'm going to just shoot you straight. Like, I could tell you I think his number's wrong and try to play that. I don't know. Dude, his number might be right. So here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'll say. And then I want you to do whatever you feel is best. One, I think you should do business with whoever you feel most comfortable with that is also giving you the best deal. And if that is the guy, I'm happy to walk away. However, what I will say in return, I will not put myself at risk to lose money as a business owner. I'm sure you understand it's not a wise business model. But if I can do the math and I'm able to come up to a number that's more realistic, because I'm able to find that that is a real number, that I can do this deal at that number, I'm willing to see if I can match that. However, I don't want to do that if you feel more comfortable just going with your guy, right? Like, I don't want to go through all the extra hoops. If you would rather just take the money that's on the table, take that. If something changes, give us a call back. If we're still in a position to do this deal, we may not be, we may be. I don't know what other deals we're going to be doing once we finish this conversation with you. If we can circle back if something changes. If you want us to go to bat and say, "Hey, I like you guys. I'd rather work with you guys. If you can do a better number, I can try that." I'll do whatever works best for you. I can't make that offer to everybody. I'll make that offer to you. Yeah. But just shoot me straight, man. And if that the best thing for you is selling to that guy, I'm good with that.
Well, are you talking about matching it or beating it, the 225?
I'm talking about, here's what I'll do. I will do the math, and I will do whatever the math allows. If the math allows me to come up $5,000 and I can still put money on, put food on my table, and my team can still get paid, why do I care? I'm still eating, you're still eating. But if I can't, I'll just tell you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, if you did the 225, I mean, and you said that it was solid, I might just go with you because it sounds like that you're not pulling my leg. I don't know if this guy. I mean, I have the contract right in front of me. It's only one page, man. They're usually longer than that, but it does say. It does say earnest money deposit shall be deposited into the escrow account at the later of conclusion of the walkthrough period within 10 business days following property walkthrough.
Yep.
Fire
So he's got an inspection
condition
period.
of the property is in. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the property though, bro. So I mean, I understand they're just trying to protect themselves. You ain't gonna buy something unseen. That's not
No,
smart.
I don't know. They may be doing that. The other thing, what they might be doing as well is wholesaling. Nothing wrong with wholesale. We wholesale. There's nothing wrong with wholesaling. But if that's what they're trying to do, what they're going to do is they're going to what's called shop your deal. So they're going to lock it up at 225, and they have 10 business days to try to find a buyer at higher than 225. And then what they're going to do is they're going to come back within that 10 business period. And if they can't find somebody else, then they're going to say sorry for you, and they're just going to cancel that agreement. If they're wholesaling, that's what they're going to do. And I can tell you right now, if I don't know, but if that's what they're doing, I would be overwhelmingly surprised if a cash buyer is going to pay anywhere near 225 for this thing. The math doesn't math. Like there's just no profit for a cash buyer. A cash buyer at 225 is going to lose money on this deal. So if he's wholesaling, you're just going to get a cancellation in a week. Or you're going to.
He said they just bought one in the same spot for 230. He said they just bought one. They just bought one at this home park. He's familiar. He's familiar with it.
What's his LLC on the contract? I can look up and see if he's closed on anything in that area.
What is it? I don't know. What is it? What are you asking me? What's his what?
So on the contract at the top, it should say his LLC name or the company that's offering. It should say his name and then your name.
Oh yeah, I don't want to give out. I don't want to give out.
That's cool. No, that's cool. No, I get you, man. I respect that.
I wouldn't give him yours. You know what I mean?
All good, man. I respect that. I won't press for that. I was just gonna look up and see if he has HUDs in the neighborhood. Because here's the thing. If like the reality is you don't have like a rush, right? Like you don't have a foreclosure pending that's about to put a lock on your house in the next couple weeks.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. So here's the thing. Worst case scenario, if you sign this deal and he cancels, you just lost a couple weeks. That's it, right? Like it's not like unless there's a chance he's going to come back and try to negotiate you down. Now that he's got you, I don't know. Yeah. If you can look this up, if you know what softwares to look, you can go and you can look up HUDs in the area and you can find out what transaction he's done in your city, if he's done any flips, and you can confirm pretty quickly if what he said is true. If he owned a property,
that's true.
Yeah, if he's owned a property and kept it for a period of time and then flipped it, that means he's a cash buyer. That's different than a wholesaler, because a wholesaler wouldn't show that they were necessarily on the property most of the time. So yeah, it really just depends on the situation. Let me know what you want me to do. Do you want me to see if I can come up with that number, or do you want to just say, screw it, let me try this guy?
You can try to come up with it because the way you can try, because the way you're making it sound like there's just a lot of shaky people out there, dude. And you know what's a bummer, dude, is like, I'm not even trying to make it a big problem, man. I'm just trying to get rid of my house. You know, I'm not even trying to get to 280 to whatever. I just want to get rid of it at a fair price. You know, I mean, of course, everybody's going to make money. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But it seems like everybody's trying to rip me off. I don't even know who to believe anymore. It's like, damn, I can tell you right now, man, there must be a whole lot of convicts in the real estate business, because that's what it's crazy.
And let me be clear, man. I'm not. I think it's less. It's just more. I'm just built different, right? Like the reality is they're not doing anything illegal. It's just a strategy. And honestly, so a lot of these people are new. Now, I don't know this person, but I know I work with a lot of new people who they do bad math because they run their comps wrong. It's easy to make a mistake on comps. Your neighborhood's super weird. You said it yourself. I know skilled people who would screw up running numbers in your neighborhood because there's no comps are supposed to be within the last 90 days. I've only found one house. I've been looking since you got on the phone with Al. I've only found one house that sold this year. All the other houses sold 2 years ago, right? So that's not a comp. That's not a fair number. The one that sold this year was listed for 300, pulled down, listed for nowhere, pulled down again. What that tells me is there's a decent chance that they're overpriced and the market's not responding. It's still on market. They can't move it at 300. So that starts to tell me the market is saying that's too much money. So your guy might be a completely legit dude who's telling you the truth and is going to close. He also might just be incorrect. He just might not know better. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like it both could be true. So I don't want to make it sound like he's a bad dude, but I don't know this guy. I will tell you the truth. How long do I have before you decide to just sign with that guy?
I mean, I don't know. How long do you need?
I mean, tomorrow would be ideal, but if you don't want to wait till tomorrow, I get that. I don't want you to feel like you're losing time.
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, I guess tomorrow's all right, but I mean, yeah, I guess tomorrow's all right.
Okay, so we'll do this.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I'm going to put together the numbers. I will plan to call you around lunchtime tomorrow. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You're getting a lot of calls. You're getting a lot of emails. Those aren't going to stop. So if you feel like you really got to sign,
I'll get a lot of calls.
yeah, if you feel like you got to sign one of those, I respect your decision, man. If you want to call us back and you want to just have us give you our opinion on something in the contract from a real estate perspective, dude, I'll tell you my opinion and then let you sign with them. Again, I'm not like legit. I just want to help
only
people out.
one-page contract. Is that pretty common? Because I don't know. It just didn't seem like it's very. You know what I mean?
I, in my experience, I want to be respectful. I don't like speaking about other people I don't know. In my experience, one-page contracts are usually downloaded from Google. Our contract, depending on the type of deal we're doing, is 3 to 7 pages, and it includes a memorandum because that's the legally appropriate way to protect all parties involved and make sure everybody's operating ethically. There's no way they have a memorandum of contract in that agreement. So I don't know. It's not uncommon. I've seen people do deal. You can do a real estate transaction with a one-page contract. You could do a real estate transaction with a napkin.
It says they're a reputable company, bro. They're called Pinpoint.
Pinpoint. Well, if they're named Pinpoint, then obviously they're reputable.
Yeah, they're reputable. It's Pinpoint. I just looked it up just out of curiosity because you got me curious, but that's Pinpoint.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
a lot of money, man. They buy a lot of houses.
Yeah, I mean, websites are cheap. You can get a website for $30, right? So I mean, that's not necessarily an indication.
Go, daddy.
Yeah, go, daddy, dog. Yeah, go, daddy. That's it.
I just know because I used to buy and sell it. So GDDY.
Yeah. Let's do this, man. Let me see if I can get it for you faster, man.
For a long time.
Yeah, no, I mean you're hustling. Look, man, let me see if I can get you a number faster. Again, I don't want to cast any aspersions against somebody else that's just trying to make money and doing it the right way. There is a possibility this guy's being legit and he's doing the right thing. I don't want to imply otherwise. Yeah. My numbers say that number is not a smart number, but I could be wrong because your neighborhood is unique. If I could look up this guy's HUDs, I could tell you if he's held property recently. And if I could see that he held property recently, that's a better indication that I would say, yeah, he's bought property. He did it at this price. If you can figure out a way to find that in the public record, you'll be able to see. It's very easy to find out if this guy actually did buy a property at that price in your neighborhood.
Yeah, it's like if it would be under Pinpoint, Pinpoint or something. I don't.
If that's the one that's on the contract, then it should be. But let me do this. Let me see what I can figure out before the day's out. If I can call you back today or Al can call you, we'll do it today. If not, it'll be by tomorrow. No pressure. If you get any other questions, like honestly, man, whatever you decide to do, I respect it. We got your back. We're happy to help wherever you can, and we'll keep you posted as soon as we have an update on if we come higher.
Yeah, well, call me back, Daniel.
Okay, will do, man, for sure.
Call me back.
Appreciate you, man.
Later.
All right, Al, how you feeling, dog?
I mean, I get it. I feel like you intentionally ignored Matt's Matt's opinion.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the comps and I see multiple solds for 300,000.
When?
That's the thing. That all of the deals sold out there are old. There isn't a recent sold. So that means that by definition, all right, Jack, be safe, yo. Appreciate you, dog. By definition, I can't dismiss the only recent solds, even if those recent solds are old. That's my only frame of reference. You know what I mean? There you go. Look at that. Hold on 5 seconds, guys.
Yeah, but these ones like have really nicer finishes, like a lot nicer finishes. Do 300,000 ones.
So okay. So yeah, 305. You know what I mean? If it doesn't need work, which it looks like it doesn't need work, I could totally see somebody buying this thing if they're using their own cash or if they have a lender with good rates and then just wholesaling it or putting it right on the market. Technically, they're not wholesaling it because they're closing, right? But in that situation, I mean, it's a hustle. If you buy this at 225 and you sell it at 305, you're making not much, maybe 10 grand. But if you know for a fact you can move it because you know this market, is it worth making an extra 10 grand in 30 to 90 days? I don't know, right? Like I like these guys, if they're in that market and they've closed recently, they would understand that. But they're all that are sitting.
It's just like if somebody bought it for 225, that would be like the most desperate purchase ever from what I saw.
Which is where my honestly, I think 185 is the right number. A 185 novations makes sense to me. That's a solid offer. I think that makes sense. I think what we'll probably end up doing, I just wanted to recheck these numbers. iPhone, I don't know who you are, but we miss you. And
here's another thing. There's 5 houses. It's a tiny community, and out of that tiny community, 5 houses are listed for under 300, like 240, 250, and they're not selling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so
here's
that was one of the things.
Regardless of all of this, what I was primarily testing was our rapport. I was trying to see how long this dude would hold out to hear back from us. And it sounds like he may hold out and not sign anything until he hears back. That for me is indicative of the level of impact that we've had in establishing a relationship. That's important, even if we can't come up to his number, because how many times have you heard me do that, Al, right? Like where they want to focus, they want to call back, they want to work with us. If this guy ends up just canceling that contract, he's calling us right back. We're the only person he's calling back. Because of the way that we established that rapport accurately. So let's see. I think you're right. I was not looking at all markets. I was looking at solds. If that's the all markets, then yeah, there's no way in hell that we can offer that much.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I showed him that last night, and that's what I was gonna go into the direction of, and I was starting to do that. Of you're a smart dude. You're asking, well, how? He asked me, well, how do you know? How do I know what's real and what's not? And I said that's exactly the right question, because the answer is understanding the numbers. And you did that to some extent about talking to math, but I mean, bro, here's the truth. Like, it is what it is. You're a smart guy. You can understand it.
That's the right approach. That's the right approach. I didn't see this. I didn't see the all markets. I was just looking at the solds. I didn't look at the all market.
Yeah. I mean, I already showed it to him, but yeah.
But you notice this. We talked about this before, right? This is what I said. Like sometimes You guys will go through all this effort, building, establishing fantastic rapport, making them like you, doing all the things, and then what happens? You got to do that all over again in the next conversation. And all like people have a short-term memory. Ideally, it sticks. But if it doesn't stick with you and they have that fantastic of a conversation, how little is it sticking with everybody else? Right? And this is where you see the competition. All of y'all sellers are having multiple conversations at the same time, whether they're telling you or not. What are you doing to make them want to wait for you? You know what I mean? What are you doing to make them want to wait for you? And if you're not doing anything to make them want to wait for you, then are you doing your job right? My argument would be no. Okay.
And the competition includes liars, unfortunately, sometimes. I mean,
The
not
competition
everybody,
does
but
include liars.
when the competition includes liars, it becomes even worse.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. We'll just call this dude back tomorrow. If you want to call him back tonight, you can. I don't know that. I don't know. It's up to you. I can't, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would. I think the right call would be to call him back tonight. I just can't.
And then what? Hey, want to accept $40,000 less, so you don't. have to
I think we call him out, call him back tomorrow. And then we just walk him through it, just like you were planning on doing. But here's the thing. Here's the problem. When you start hearing someone say, yeah, they're already checking out. And he started doing that. Right. And so I don't know he would have heard the path that you were on because his brain was checked out. So at least we got him re-engaged. Now, here's the thing. We might call him tomorrow and that might all be gone again.
Yeah. I wasn't noticing. Yeah, I wasn't noticing him doing that because I was focused on presenting the information in
Yeah, no, I think you did a decent job with it, man. He's just one of those guys that's harder to kind of nail down, and if he's getting real offers. The thing that made me think this guy, he said that the guy closed on the house a couple months later, right in the same neighborhood. That's a very interesting thing to say. We could look it up. Did you get the name Pinpoint?
Pinpoint. I could take a quick look. It's just what are the odds in that tiny, like they bought one in that community, and that they're for some reason know that he's selling his house.
I mean, some people, bro, it is a thing that people do where they just work one small market and then they learn it really, really well. That is a thing that people do.
Like like a 100 people community, that's their market.
It's a thing. Some people just love their little rural communities. There's somebody that is in sub 2. His name's Jason Lombardi. This dude works one area where all of his sellers are meth heads. Not an exaggeration. Like, this is his business model, and he knows it like the back of his hand. I don't know if anybody knows Jason. Like, Jason, Kate, does Jason work any other market than his little tiny market? I think he just works that little thing.
Yeah, I'm not aware of him. It's the beard energy. He doesn't need to work anywhere else.
He doesn't. And he's got like a hot rod car that he takes over to these things. Like, he works one market, and that is it. So that's a thing. It's possible that somebody just knows this market. Not impossible.
Yeah, no, it's just super random.
You're super random. Okay. That's an interesting one, right? This is why I like calls like this. It's easy to get the good, easy layups and make it sound cool for the gram. But a lot of calls ain't like that. You got to deal with the weird people who got competition, and you got to sow seeds, and you got to make them like you, and you got to make them want to work with you, and you got to make them open to call you back. And we got this dude to not sign the contract that he hung up on us to get, potentially for 24 hours. We'll see if this guy changes his mind. But I don't know. All right. Anybody else looking at final thoughts, comments, questions on any of this stuff? No? Going once, going twice? Okay. Got a podcast I got to get ready for 25 minutes. Today was fun. Boaz, we went all over the place. I'm sorry, Boaz, will you come back tomorrow? Tomorrow's our last day. Tomorrow's our last day doing this. Open for the people. Are you coming back, bro?
What time is it?
Same time.
I'll try, yeah.
Okay. You ever watch Star Wars? What did Yoda say? Do or do not. There is no try.
Right.
Hopefully you can, man. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. It was really, really nice meeting you.
Thank you for inviting.
You missed it, Rodolfo. You out here trying to make money, so you missed the calls. I hope you close that deal. If you're gonna be missing seller calls. Yeah, Boaz, come hang out, bro. Look forward to seeing you more. We'll get you up here. Let you get some practice in. Guys, if you guys got any value, I appreciate you. Tell somebody else about it. Come back. We got one more day tomorrow. Peggy, miss you, lady. It's nice seeing you. If you guys were not here earlier, I'm sorry. We got a new community that launched today. If you guys want to come hang out. Top one's the main community. The bottom one is the monthly community where I have a really big discount going on right now. If you guys got any questions about anything we're doing on the community side, reach out to me, reach out to anybody in the community. We'll be happy to help. Kate put her number in there earlier. But guys, come hang out tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be the last day. We're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna be calling some sellers. We may call this guy up and see if we can't lock up this deal. Maybe we'll call Eddie's deal. And then we'll just get into practice. Michael, appreciate you. It's been great having you, man. If you guys have anything, feel free to reach out. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of the night. And maybe you guys will go out there and get a seller on the line and get him close or her close to the finish line and then bring them to the call tomorrow. We'll help you lock them up. Anybody got any final comments, questions, complaints before we wrap up? No? Going once, going twice? All right.
Yeah. Some clarity on what we're doing with this guy.
If you want to call him in my stead, you can call him tonight.
What's the smartest thing to do in your opinion? That's my question. No, what do I want to do?
I think he would rather, he asked me to call him back specifically. He may feel a certain kind of way if I don't. However, today would be the better day. So if I have to choose between the two and today's not an option, either we call him super late tonight or we just call him tomorrow here.
No, I mean, we already have the numbers. The question is, do you feel we should give him an offer, or do you feel like it's only 14 days? Let's just tell him that we're not going to be.
If that's the right thing, then I'm going to do exactly what you were planning on doing, because that was the right strategy, right? Hopefully he'll be listening this time. We don't know what happens when we get him back on the phone. There's a chance he might sign with this other person, right? But if we are, what we'll do is we'll get him on the phone and just be like, all right, can I run you the numbers and show you exactly how I came to these numbers, right? You're a smart dude. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say you're a smart dude. You're a trader. So you understand, you understand P&Ls, you understand the basics, right? All right. So here's the numbers. Here's this, here's that. Right. So if I buy this property, when I try to resell it, which any investor is gonna do, I'm not even gonna talk about this, which any investor is gonna do, I need to make sure that there is a window between what I buy it for, what I sell it for, minus cost, right? And then I'm just gonna walk through that math with him. If I buy it at 225, and I listed at 240, I have to compete against all these houses, which means I got to wait for all of those ones to sell, or I hope that ours is better. Well, what makes someone buy a house? It's either a better house or it's cheaper. So I have to hope something is nicer about this house, or I have to lower the price. Well, let's say I want to be strategic and I go down to 325. After cost, I'm losing money, right? And so I'm using that. I'm walking through the math, and I'll say, based on this situation, if you're an investor, you're a trader, if you're an investor, how much would you want to make? And then I'm gonna let him, I'm gonna leverage the fact that he's an investor, just using good math as an investor. If you wanted to buy this house to make sure that you make money, I might even say, how much would you want to make? What do you think is fair? If you decided to get into this business, how much would you want to make? 20 grand, 10 grand? All right, bet. Cool. Where do you need to be to do that? And then we're going to go through the basic numbers. And then he's going to be like, oh, shoot. Appreciate you, Jody. And then we're going to just run the math. That's it. We're going to run the math. And then I'm going to let him tell me where the number is supposed to be. And then he's going to say, but they said they can do it. I'm going to say, then best of luck, man. Take that offer. And if it doesn't work, call me back if we can. Let me tell you why. So now you understand why our offer works. Now you understand why our offer solids. Now you understand why this is where it needs to be, because I'm making you a promise I feel like I can keep, not one that I just hope if everything works out perfectly, I may or may not be able to keep. If you want that, this is what it looks like. However, if you want that, you're willing to take the risk, give it a shot. Right? And that's probably the direction I'm going to go.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Competition, bro.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. We can't
I don't even want to offer him cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Based on if there's that many listed on market right now that haven't sold and they've been listed for a long time, it makes zero sense.
Yeah, I mean, my only idea was let's just list it under everybody else and do like a wholesale novation, whatever.
Yep. And we just need to get him on board with that. So yeah, I think your strategy was solid, dude. I think that's the right call.
All right.
You're a smart man, even though Boaz disagrees. Boaz was DMing me like this whole Zoom, throwing shade your way, bro. Just so you know.
Well, we didn't actually get into feedback about my part of the conversation with him, but you know, if it's getting late, then
Nah, it is, but let's take a minute. I think you did a decent job. I think there was a couple of areas where you were kind of missing the reading of the room, but it was very, very subtle. You didn't catch the Yaz. I caught the Yaz, right? But other than that, I think you did decent. His brain was checked out from you because he was re-engaged somewhere else. When someone's brain, and this is with anybody, I don't care how good you are, when a person's brain is checked out because you've already given them this information and they've heard this before, you have to re-engage them. You got to pattern interrupt and re-engage them. And there's a couple ways to do that. Sometimes you can pattern interrupt and then circle back. Sometimes the best way is to have a different voice, say the exact same thing you were going to say.
Yes.
It just is. And even me, there are some scenarios where I could come and deliver something in a way that I think is fantastic. But if something changed and they've checked out, they've heard all of that before. It's lost its impact. So I either have to pattern interrupt and go a different direction, or somebody else has to come in and reaffirm. And here, for anybody who's wondering about that and on the fence, have you ever guys, like, imagine if you're sitting there and you're talking to your friend or a family member, your cousin, your mom, and they're like, hey, you have to check out this restaurant. It's really, really good, right? So let's say you're standing there, you're outside of a mall, your mom's talking to you, oh, you got to check out this restaurant. It's really, really good. Most of us would be like, oh, okay, cool, I'll check it out. If a random stranger walks by, overhears you, and says, oh, you're talking about that restaurant over here? And your mom's like, yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, you got to check that. It's great. Psychologically, is our interest not piqued that much more? Right? Why? It's third-party validation. And sometimes that third party saying the exact same thing just adds the validation. So, yeah, you did good, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, that makes sense.
Okay, you guys are beautiful. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let's make tomorrow better than today, and wrap up this week's